What's up, everybody? I'm finally feeling, at least I'd say, I don't know, maybe 80% back to myself. It's a lovely feeling to be able to, have the energy to talk all my shit and not feel like I need to take a nap after. Like I felt like last week. That was awful. But I want to thank everybody for hanging with me while I, had to divide the show up and everything. I just couldn't do it. I just didn't have the strength. But you guys are so like supportive, and everybody was so nice with their best wishes and stuff. I couldn't do anything but get better. So thank you. It was nice to see you have all those people, rooting for you. You can do it. You can do it. Yes, thanks you guys. That was very nice. Even though I was laying in the bed feeling sorry for myself, when I would look at my phone and see your little comments and best wishes, I would feel a little bit better. So that was very nice. But whoo, honey, I don't know what that was. It got hold of me. It wasn't the COVID, because my doctor sent me to get a test. Actually, it wasn't that. But it was something that just drop kicked my behind and stomped me like a high school bully. It was terrible. I just, I haven't been beat up that bad in a long time. But before I get started, I want to send two shouts out, of course, to Lady Boss. That's a given. But these are two different people. Um, One is Parissa. She heard me. She's listened to the show. I don't know. This is probably a month or so ago because with my 2 weeks of being sick. Yeah, it's probably a month or so ago. She was listening to the show and heard me say how I wanted to set up a third monitor. Well, turns out she had an almost brand new one at her house that she wasn't even using. So she drops the sister a note, say, "Girl, we in the Bay Area, come get it." I went and got it. I haven't set it up yet because I was sick and everything. I really didn't. Yeah, I just didn't have it in me to do it, but I will be doing it. So then I'm gonna be in business. I'm gonna be like, three deep up in here. It's gonna be wonderful. And then a friend of mine from Facebook, she's been like on my Facebook friend list for probably 10, 12 years, is trying to launch a new business venture. And she it's something, it's this feminine wash. She sent me a sample of it. And so I'm going to try it. Shelvia, that's the name that she uses on Facebook. When once it's in actual for sale and all of that, I'll let you guys know. Because I know, sisters be liking to keep everything clean and tidy and all of that good stuff. So, we'll share. And it's nice to have something that is made by somebody that you know and that's a nice product. So she sent it to me to test. So that way I would actually know what I'm talking about when I talk about it. Okay. So that's my intro. So thanks again, ladies, Shelby and Parissa. Very, very nice. All right, let's get into this. In case you are new here and you don't know where you are, what you doing. This is the relationship advice show, the best one on YouTube, the only one starring me, the only one featuring all of you. And what we do is every Tuesday we get together and go over the relationship advice questions that have been submitted by various people and looking for some help in their relationship. Now, what's interesting about the show is it's not scripted. These letters are produced by my cousin. She sends me the document. I print the document out. The document sits here until we do the show. And when I read you the questions, I'm hearing them for the first time, just like you. But since I have almost 30 years of experience at this, I can answer stuff off the cuff. I do suggest, however, if you have sent in a question, that you not only listen to what I have to say, but you check out the chat stream too, because sometimes they have a different, experience. Sometimes they actually live in the area where the letter writer is from as well. So they have insight into actual resources that are in that municipality that I don't have. So check it out. Check out both things. Listen and then read as well. Okay, that's my suggestion for the best answer. Oh, girl, yes, absolutely. Hands down the best. Who else is going to not only give you good information, but act a fool and clown at the same time? Oh, you made it this time. Okay, everybody. Everybody who makes it on, who comes in late, always be mad. Let's go, because I just looked at, while I was talking, I peeped at it, and we're up to 25 questions. I hope I can do it. Gulp. Okay, let's go. This is What the Fuck Tuesday relationship advice column with Deborah Cooper on Tuesday, July 7th, 2020. Question number one of 25. So whoever's keeping track, this is number one of 25. This is from a young lady in the 26 to 30 age group from Portsmouth, Virginia. I'm 26 and I met a 34-year-old guy on a dating app. Oh, we're already on a slippery slope to hell. We went on a date and it was lovely. The bill came. I offered to split it, but he refused, saying that he ordered things for himself, meat, so I couldn't try them, and took home all the leftovers. He proceeded to invite me to his house and made it clear he expected eggplant. I said no, obviously, and he was very upset and angry. That was a red flag to me. He asked me on a second date, and I told him I just booked a ticket to visit my home country due to a family emergency. He told me he did not believe me and insinuated I was lying about the very serious family emergency. He then sent me a request to pay for the date, which happened 2 weeks ago. He was extremely rude, so I blocked him on WhatsApp and Instagram. I have not paid him. Should I just do it? I am planning on cutting out all contact anyways, as he was super inappropriate. No, you don't pay him shit. What you he like you said, he was the one who sat up there and ate all the stuff. You don't eat meat, so he's sitting up there ordering all these hors d'oeuvres and meals with meat and stuff that always costs more. So, you know, and the thing is, you because you decide to take somebody out to dinner, that don't entitle you to shit. Some conversation during the dinner part. I always tell men, don't go on a date expecting anything, not even a second date. Okay, that's why you go to some place where your little wallet can afford it, and not be feeling like you took a hit and that somebody owes you something. You want to just buy some booty, then go do that. Okay, but you on a dating app and some women are, you see, and this is the thing too, right, dating app. Unfortunately, ladies, I'm going to tell you this now. The mentality of men on these apps is that everybody is an easy lay. That's all they thinking about. Okay? Be realistic when you start doing this internet dating stuff. You thinking you going to find your husband and your Boaz and all this old stuff here. All you going to find is somebody with their dick in their hand. That's what you're going to find. Okay? That's all they thinking about. Nasty freaks. And like I said in the video I just did the other day, they don't even be thinking about, using proper protection and stuff like that. So they just want to ho hop and give everybody a disease with impunity, thinking that should be what they do. All they have to do is swipe and they get some ass. No. So you guys, this is the reality check for you. I'm just saying. This is what you're going to be looking at. So my suggestion when I would do that kind of stuff was to always do the preemptive strike. Why is this thing on my sound mount just going into the red? My thing is I would do the preemptive strike. So they say, well, let's get together, let's meet. I say, well, we could do that, but let me tell you right now, if that's what you want to do, you better go make it someplace that's not expensive, so you don't be feeling like you got taken advantage of or no shit like that, because ain't shit happening. I don't sleep with nobody that I don't really know and that I don't really like. So if that's what you think is going to happen, I'm going to tell you right now, forget it. So do you still want to go? And they either say yes or no. And then, but I'm not one to mince words and put up romantic fantasies and all of that. And you don't have to be as blunt as me, but you do need to communicate in some way, shape, or form what your expectations are. Don't just be blind. He says, oh, let's go on a date. Okay. Yeah, that's good. I want to do that too. No, you got to G up and tell them straight up. Don't expect shit from me. That's it. And if you got a problem with that, then we can have a Zoom date or something. But yeah, I'm telling you. And I just be real blunt with them. It's like that's it. That's all you're gonna get is some conversation. If that is, will that work for you? If that's outside your budgetary range, and you more like a burger, a McDonald's boy or something, then let me just warn you now. Don't waste your 22 cents. They offer to cook for you. I'm not eating that poison you putting in the food with roofies and shit and all the drinks. Any woman who would go for that would have to be an idiot. Yeah, it is. It is. That's exactly what it is. Ravinia, that's exactly what they be expecting. And it's like, you guys are crazy. There's something wrong with you. I just don't know it. I mean, admittedly, there are some young ladies who do that kind of stuff. Um, their motivations, I don't understand. A lot of it seems to be that they're just, what's the word? Thirsty. They want somebody to love them so bad that they kind of twist up, um, stuff, bedroom action with love. So they feel like if they're sleeping with a guy, that must mean he likes them. And these guys, they try to run that game. They want to make you feel like they really like you and that this situation has a future so that you will sleep with them. But I'm telling you, you young girls, stop falling for that okey doke. Stop it. The dude don't even know your damn middle name. How in the world do you fantasize that he loves you? You stop it. You need to get in some therapy. But anyway, let me get off of my soapbox and move on to letter number 2. This is from a young woman in the 37 to 45 age group out of Denver, Colorado. And she says, "Hey, Auntie Deb, it's Colorado again. Oh, you gave me the best advice last time with dealing with my ex husband and him reopening our business again last year." Oh, yeah, vaguely remember that. Something about taxes or something I was telling her. "You are the only person I could think of to give me some better advice in my current situation and put a pretty spin on how to deal with it. My mother has decided to retire and travel around the country. I'm so happy for her. Oh, I'm so jealous. In this process, she asked if I wanted to purchase her home. I jumped on the offer and will be closing on July 20th. The house is 2 bedroom and 1.5 bath, which is perfect for me and my 10-year-old son. My mother will be moving out of the home mid-August and into my grandmother's house with her sister. They are about to live their best life, traveling, etc., and doing the Silver Fox thing." Oh, that's so nice. Look at them. And three of them living together that'll reduce their expenses. That is a good idea. This morning, my mother tells me that she received a phone call from my younger brother who's 37. He is a dusty and it is what it is. I'm not going to bore you with all his dusty attributes, but this morning he calls my mother explaining he has been kicked out of college again. Wait a minute. How you almost 40 and you still in college in a dorm? This must be a typo. My mother informs him that he cannot come back to the house because she sold the house. She then proceeds to tell him she sold the house to me and that I have made it clear that I do not want anyone living with me. I can tell by her side of the conversation that he is blaming her about him not having a place to live and that it is not fair of her to sell her home, especially not fair that I am the one that she sold it to. Now, mind you, I have gone through the process of buying this house at a slight discount, but my mother's walking away with a $70,000 check. I was determined that my mom have a nice nest egg to retire on. She also has pension and SSI coming. Oh, so mom gonna be balling. But I felt she needed a nice fat savings account too. So now I'm receiving phone calls from both my siblings that it's not fair that I don't want them to have access to my new home. My response is this is not our mother's home anymore. It's my home, and I will be changing locks and security codes because I do not want people who do not pay the mortgage to have access to the home. Even though my mother had promised that my siblings would always have a home, I feel like that promise is now void because I own it. Am I being harsh? My best friend said no. What do you think? Thanks, Auntie Deb. You are the best. Love from Colorado. Girl, you better channel you some Deb and start cussing folks out. The first thing is whether this house was sold to you or to the Ku Klux Klan, it don't matter. They ain't coming. That's all they need to understand. The house has a new owner that ain't they mama. And the person who owns it now don't want your nappy headed ass up in it. That seems very clear to me. So, you're going to have to even do with them having this attitude, you're going to have to be very careful about even letting them come visit. This might the first year or two, till all of this dust settles, you might not want to have let them even come visit. And I'm being real right now because sometimes when people are all up in their feelings like this, and it may even last longer. I don't know your relatives. Some people can hold a grudge for decades. But, when people are in their feelings like this, they want to come in and have accidents, or they're going to accidentally spill something and fuck up your carpet. They're going to accidentally fall and break something that's really important to you. They're going to accidentally crack a picture that, or tear up something. Whatever they do, they're going to cause damage. It's going to end up causing you money. It's a passive aggressive way of getting back at you because they're angry. So keep that in mind. Okay, don't let them come to your house. I don't know what kind of excuses you're going to have to come up with, but don't let them come. They need to, all this needs to this needs to settle down. As far as your brother goes, if he gets, they get too fun, like the family calling you and stuff, tell them, well, you want them to live somewhere so bad, you let them move in with you. I mean, it's going to be me and my son in my house, and that's it. I don't know what else to tell you. Two people. That's it. And the other thing is, what was I going to say? Shoot, my mind was going ahead of my brain rather was going ahead of my mouth. Um, you might have to, like, if he starts getting threatening, you may have to tell him, I will get a restraining order on your ass. Don't think I won't. Just because we're, related, that don't mean nothing. I will have your ass in jail if feels like it's going to be a threat to me or my home or my son. And that's, something that you have to take into account, because when people are like this, like I'm telling you, when they're in their feelings like this, they will try to get at you any kind of way that they want to. I'm not saying they do. I don't know these people. I'm just throwing you out some possibilities for you to G up about and be prepared to handle should they arise. That's what you people write to me for. Well, what might happen? I tell them. So this is something, consult an attorney to find out, tell them what's going on, what your options are, and this kind of stuff, and be legally ready to tackle any bullshit that comes down the pipe. That would be my suggestion. But stick to your guns. Change all the locks and install an alarm system if you guys don't already have one. You're not being harsh. You're taking care of what's yours now. You paid it just like anybody else would pay it. They paid their money and they have a mortgage. You weren't given anything. So keep that in mind. You have no reason to feel guilty or feel like you owe them anything. Because just like you bought the house, they could have bought it. They didn't. So what you want me to say? You could remind them of that too. Ooh, but see, she's nice because see, 40-year-old man in a dorm, that don't even work for me. But see, my family would know better than to call me with some bullshit like this, because all of them would have got cussed out. They would have been every kind of bitching motherfucker I could have thought of. And I start like talking about them, their mates, their ex-girlfriends, their kids, their in-laws. I mean, everybody. I'm gonna cuss out everybody associated with you, because all y'all is ignorant. And that's, so they would never even have done that. But um, just be very, very firm. You're on the right track. Good job. Question number 3. This is number 3 of, what did I say? 25. Female, 30 to 36, out of London, England. My nephew is 12 to 13 years old. He's tall and solid. He's taller than me, and I'm 32. He's been swearing and name calling at my daughters, who are 12 and 14. He will also push them around or grab their arms hard and push them back to the point it starts to hurt them. I don't allow my kids to swear or name call. I will get up them if they call him names back. Why? I do worry about his feelings too. You're stupid. I'm already mad. You sitting up here writing me, this motherfucker is harassing your daughters and beating them up and bullying them, and you worried about his feelings? You don't worry about his feelings. You know what that would do? Before I even finish this letter, which I don't even know if I'm going to because I'm mad already, this kind of shit where parents are let a boy hurt the girl children in the family, and they worrying about the boy's feelings. You know what I would do if I said, let my daughter go? You touch her again. And then I would bust his little ass upside the head with something, and the police would be called. It would be like, I'm defending my child, and so I want him out of here. Get him out of here. I don't want to ever see him again. This and that. It'd be all this stuff. Yeah. I'm just saying this. I'm already pissed. Lady from London, England, with the bullshit. The little girls at 12 and 14, and they're little girls, and you talk about how tall and solid this kid, and he's bigger than you, and you in your 30s. This is going to be a giant kid. And the way he's manhandling your daughters already, see, he's about to hit puberty, where it's going to flip over to sexual harassment. You think I'm kidding? That's where this kid is going. Right to juvenile and right to prison. Oh, I will get on them if they call him names back. You supposed to be joining in the party. I want my kids to be kind. She's setting up her girls to be victims. My nephew, when I pull him up about his behavior, will look me straight in the eye and say that he didn't do it. Narc. Even if I've seen him and heard him, he will lie and make out that I'm crazy and it never happened. Gaslighting at 12. Can you believe this? Or he will say, Okay, sorry. He will argue with me and make out everyone else that I'm lying. My daughters are lying. Everyone is against him. I don't know why he is like that. He's always been very loving, and I've always been very loving and kind to him. I always had great conversations and been very caring towards him. But now that he's 12, I can't even ask how was his day without him being like, "Why? What's it to you?" Everything seems like he's pushing an argument. I've seen his push his mother around, and I've got up to him because he was hurting her. Also, his parents completely dismiss his actions and tell me I'm making a deal over nothing, or tell my girls that it's nothing. I don't want them thinking it's okay for people to treat them that way. It really makes me angry when his parents allow them to do this like that. Makes it really hard for me. I just say to my girls, okay, cop the abuse and be nice to him. Oh, she says, I can't just say to him. What do I do? Well, that's essentially what you've been doing. Stop worrying about his feelings and stuff and tell them that they can't talk back and they can't call him names back and they can't even defend themselves. That's what you're doing. Your word mouth may not be saying it, but that's what your actions are saying. Just take it and worry about him more than you worry about yourself. Lady, you on some bullshit. I'm done with this letter. I can't with this. You need your daughters taken away from you. That's what you need. Because they headed on a slippery slope. It's gonna be some drama with this boy, and he's gonna be assaulting them, and nobody in the family is gonna believe them. He's gonna lie and say they made it all up. And his parents are gonna back him up because they're gonna be like, your girls have been saying that he's been hurting them for years, and they keep making it up. That's what you're doing to your daughters by even bringing them around this fool. I don't like you. I don't like you at all. Don't write me no more. Question number 4, female, 26 to 29, out of Sheffield, South Yorkshire, UK. I've been with my 30-year-old husband for 6 years and married for 4 of them. I've known him for 7 years, though. We have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old together. They share a room, but we're hopefully moving into a 3-bedroom house within this year. I work long, crazy hours, but we're better off for it and can live quite comfortably. He's had an issue with technology for a while. We got 3 TVs, one in our room, one in the kids' room, and one in the living room. We've got one computer. The kids have a laptop and a DVD player. We have a phone each, and honestly, when listing it does sound like a lot, but it wasn't. And I limit the screen time the child get. They usually only watch a film before bed, Saturday and Sunday, and a little bit of YouTube while eating breakfast. My eldest is obsessed with Roblox. Roblox? I don't know what that is. Plus, they listen to music on the TV. I splashed out recently on a new television for the living room, almost a most unnecessarily expensive thing I've ever bought for myself at 930 pounds, but I love it. But I came home from work to find all of our electronics just gone. He didn't even apologize. It's not like he asked for money. He gave away at least 4,000 pounds worth of electronics, probably more, for free. I had only just bought the computer for his birthday, and that was just last month. I'm absolutely furious. He told me basically he wanted us to give up electronics. He wanted to live a traditional life, including me staying at home and having more children. This motherfucker just drunk something, huh? This is a crazy change of personality, and I can't even talk to him without getting so frustrated. I've tried and just cried. That's how frustrated I was, and he just seems so unaffected. He's also turning into a political nut job, and I can't even discuss my own views without him screaming me down because I'm, quote, fucking ignorant. We are white, in case you haven't figured it out, and my husband is an avid Trump supporter in the UK, and he follows Trump. I don't know. I'm just so angry right now. I now have a screaming 5-year-old begging to use my phone to watch Roblox videos. Girl, I would be at the nearest divorce court. You know, oh, you love me, Bumblebee? Thank you. Girl, I would be at the nearest divorce court. First of all, you don't make no decisions like that. Of whoever he gave the stuff to, you need to go and get it back. Tell him to bring your shit back to your house because that you bought that stuff and he didn't have no right to give it away. Okay, so at least your TV and the computer and whatever the kids had. But now, in one respect, I'm going to say this. Uh, your kids, no child should have a television in their room. That is my firm belief. You know what they need to have in their room? They need to have books. That's it. Until they're a teenager, they shouldn't have a computer either because too many weirdos get in touch with kids via computers. All these kids with all these iPads and all this stuff, and they're 4 and 5 years old. What are you parents doing? They don't need that. That's going to fuck up their eyes. They don't even understand the real ramifications of all that staring at your eyeballs into that stuff like that and the damage it could be doing to young developing brains. There's no studies yet. Your kids are the study. Okay, so now 20 years from now, they're gonna be like, oh look, everybody's all fucked up and got all kind of tumors and shit going on, and we didn't know that could happen. That's your kids are the lab rats here. I think little kids need to be spending time talking to their parents, learning things, interacting with things, being outside in the sunshine, learning about, bugs and stuff. I mean, everything in life can be a lesson for them and education for them. Get them an ant farm or some shit. They don't need to be watching TV all the time. They need to be moving so they get some strength in their bodies. And so I disagree with that. And TV in the bedroom, no, adults shouldn't have that in their bedroom either. You need one TV per household. Unless you got like a family of 10 or something, maybe you could have two. But is radiation? Yeah, I mean, it's too much. And so on that point, I agree with him, but his handling of it was absolutely atrocious. You don't just roll through the house and give away $5,000 worth of stuff. Are you out of your mind? And it's just what the kid's supposed to do was like no discussion. He just, well, this is what I want. And so this is what we're going to do. Okay, well, you're going to do that, but you're going to do it over there at your house because over here at this house where we're going to be living, we're going to have electronics. You can go over there and live like one of them people in Pennsylvania, what they call them, little pilgrim looking people. You go over there and live like one of those if you want to. But we're gonna have electronics. That's what I would do. There's no point in crying about it. You get your ass up and go to the divorce court. And then whatever settlement that he was going to have, you take that out of the money because he gave part of his away. So his part of the 50%, he gave $5,000 of it away. So that's just going to be on him. And this political nut job part, kids don't need to be hearing all of that. Nah, I'd be divorced. I'd be filing for divorce. The Amish theory. There you go. I just know I just call them pilgrim looking people because they look like look like pilgrims to me. I don't, I can't remember all these names. But yeah, girl, that would be my suggestion to you. Because anybody who makes this kind of decision for everybody in the household without discussing it with his partner, it just decide because I want to do it. That's not really a husband. He's like a dictator. And he's only got his foothold, so now he's gonna be telling you what to wear, what you can cook. He gonna have you like not using the stove. You got to cook over campfire and shit like they did in the Wild Wild West. It's gonna be a hot mess. This is gonna be just a hot mess. Yeah, it's like Quaker Oats folks, exactly. I'm trying to tell you. Hey, I'd be like, I gotta go home. This marriage it was cute, but it's over right now. Let's move on to question number 5. I'm still pissed about that woman letting the man abuse her her daughter, letting the nephew abuse her daughter. That's a bad scene. Question number 5, female 26 to 29 out of Boston. Hi, Deb. I will forever remember what you said about friends. You mentioned how women will shed friends like a snake sheds its skin. I can attest that to be true. I consider this one particular woman as my quote best friend. I've known her for more than 10 years. She was there when I needed help with anything and vice versa. I've noticed how distant she became toward me. I believe she was embarrassed to be around me, really, because I lost everything being irresponsible with money. I was in survival mode longer than I should have been, and I didn't care about my appearance as I got back on track with my finances. I called her out about her distance toward me a few years ago. She was dismissive with her response. I had a gut feeling she didn't want to be my friend anymore, but she never admitted it. After a while, I became distant as well. My phone calls, texts, and support stopped completely, for I felt the friendship was very one sided. Now she will call me once every 3 months, and recently she called to tell me that she was pregnant. I told her congratulations. We had small talk before I ended the call. I don't care about her pregnancy. As far as I'm concerned, she dismissed me as a friend a few years ago and left it up to me to figure it out. So I ask, why do people hold on to dead friendships? Well, let's look at this. Okay. You admit that you got into the situation that you got into because you were irresponsible with your money. You were irresponsible with your money. Oh, thanks, Jim Doll. So I'm wondering what you were looking for her to do about your choices. Now, see, this becomes a slippery slope. Yes, we want our friends to be there for us and this and that, but see, you don't have a right to demand that people sacrifice anything when you have made choices for yourself, doing what you wanted to do. See, that's called being an adult. When you make stupid decisions, you got to deal with all the bumps, bruises, and repercussions that come with them. Your friends can listen to you and this and that, but they're not, they shouldn't be, you shouldn't be burdening them with doing anything to help resolve the problems resulting from choices that you made. You admit it right here that you did that to yourself. You see what I'm saying? It wasn't like you got into a car accident and was laid up and was what happened to you was something that was outside of your control. There was a fire at your house. I don't know, got hurt at work, and your workers' comp claim was denied, and you got to get an attorney and fight. And this, okay, it wasn't anything like that. These were voluntary decisions that you made that got you into that situation. So, girlfriend, the only one who is supposed to suffer in a situation like that is you. I'm sorry, but that's the way that that works. Now, you said you thought she may have been embarrassed. I would think that she was more likely she was afraid that you were gonna be trying to put her in a position where you were asking her for something. You was asking her to like maybe stay with her or for some money or something. That you were going to be asking her for something that she didn't feel comfortable saying no to, but then she didn't want to give it to you either. Everybody's not me. Everybody's not going to just tell you straight up, no. You decided to do that shit, so now that's on you. I don't have nothing to do with that. I wasn't the one running up them credit card bills and doing all the stuff. That was you. That was you. Shopping all just half to death and doing all stuff, buying shit you couldn't afford. That was a decision you made, so don't look for me for nothing. See, not everybody's not as clear as me and direct. So most people are going to be kind of like hiding, by avoiding you. That's what they do. So, I think it's more that, and I think if you really think back, you will have to agree that that's probably more likely what it was versus her being embarrassed by you. So, you stopped supporting her because you felt like she stopped supporting you. I guess that's fine. If you felt like things were one sided. Now, when we get to this point where we are now, where she's calling once every 3 months, um, I don't know if this is hard. You've been friends with her for more than 10 years. If you're ready to let it go, then don't worry about it. If you think the relationship is worth salvaging, then talk about the situation like two grown women. So, I went through this. I did this. This is how I felt about it. Why did you do that? She might apologize. She might tell you something that's about her being in a bad place herself that she never shared with you because she knew you were in a bad place and she didn't feel like she should burden you with it. Do you see what I mean? There's just so many possibilities here. I don't want to jump to conclusions about why exactly she responded the way that she did because there's too many possibilities that hadn't been explored. You guys didn't talk about it. You were in your feelings. You made a lot of assumptions, and then you started rejecting her. You moved away. You were working on yourself, which it should have been, and all that. But if you don't feel like it's anything worth picking up again, just tell her. Say, I was going through that bad time, and I felt like you abandoned me, and I just don't really feel, this relationship anymore. So please stop calling me. You can also send her that in a text or an email. You don't have to say it face to face. But I'm thinking it's only dead from your perspective. So, you haven't really feel communicated this to her. Yeah, it's time to talk it out. Or even if you don't talk it out with the thing to keep the relationship going, at least tell her why, you know. Sometimes, that closure thing is a good thing. I don't believe in it with male female relationships, but you guys were girls for over 10 years, so a few parting words as they say on the game shows might be worth it. Okay? Question number 6, female, 21 to 25 out the UK. I met my friend through a mutual acquaintance. Oh, why is that in caps? About 5 years ago. A year ago when I moved into the same apartment building as she. So we started spending more time together. We each live alone, so we'll have dinner, do grocery shopping, etc. together several times a week for company. This girl, I will call her, quote, Linda, has been bad with managing money as long as I've known her. She'll buy clothes, makeup, and expensive homewares frequently and does a lot of online shopping, receiving multiple packages a week. She spends a lot of money on food, either takeout or expensive groceries, high end steaks, and expensive wines. She frequently complains about being broke, having no money, and not being able to afford necessities like medicine or car repairs. I know that she has, on occasion, borrowed money from her parents to cover her bills when she gets caught short before payday. I'm not one for giving unsolicited advice, and she's never asked me, except for one occasion where she lamented, "So, how are you so good at saving?" which I took as a rhetorical question due to her tone. She never asked to borrow money from me, so I figure it's not my place to comment on her spending. However, the scenario a few weeks ago still has me feeling frustrated at her whenever we talk. There was a buy one, get one free offer for a shoe brand we both love, and we excitedly planned to each get a pair and save $70 each. The day before the offer, I was at her place and asked which size she wanted before I made the order, and she responded that she couldn't afford it, so she would have to go without. She said it with a really sad tone and expression on her face, and I said okay and moved on with the conversation about something else. She seemed irritated that I wasn't giving her pity for having no money, but I didn't want to criticize her spending nor give the inauthentic pity, so I just ignored it. I was disappointed because I was really excited for the shoes and didn't have the budget to spend full price. Since then, I find myself becoming irrationally angry and frustrated when she buys something or makes comments about not having money. I don't know what to do. I feel dumb for being so upset about not getting shoes I wanted, although my frustration is bigger than that. I feel that she expects a particular response to her money troubles, but I don't feel able to give her that. I don't want to criticize her, but I know I need to say something, or I'll become so resentful and say something awful that I don't mean. I really value her as a friend, so I want to find a way to discuss my frustrations without saying anything that will make her angry or defensive, which she has a tendency to do. I would appreciate suggestions on how to navigate such a conversation with Linda. Thank you. Well, I mean, the conversation. So I'm trying to think. Okay, so it's a buy one get one free, and y'all was gonna go half and half so that each of you got a pair of shoes. That's what it sounds like. So because now you're saying that you felt that you didn't get the shoes that you wanted. So that must be what it is, because otherwise you could have just paid it and did had two pairs for you. So that I'm guessing now I'm reading between the lines. That must be what the thought was. So she didn't have the $35 or whatever. Well, wait, she was gonna save 70 or was gonna cost 70. Well, whatever. Yeah, save $70 each. Okay. Yeah. So you didn't do it because of her. Okay. So what my thing would be to say next time she does that, say, why do you always complain to me about you not if you being broke when I notice how you spend buying frivolous things? If you don't want to be broke and you're asking me how do I manage to save, then wouldn't you want to ask me how I save versus complain to me about how broke you are all the time? I mean, I'm trying to come up with a diplomatic way because, with the Deb style, I'll be like, God damn it, I'm tired of hearing you talk about how broke you are. I don't give a shit. You spend money like it's pouring out of a drain or something. You turn on a faucet, just money, 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 money. And then, of course, you don't have no money. You want to run around, borrow money from your parents and stuff and being all irresponsible. What the fuck do you think I'm going to do about it? I'm tired of hearing about it. I don't want to hear about it anymore. Either stop spending and start saving your money or just suck it up. That would be me. Yes, you do. And that's what women do when they with men. Oh, my light bill. I need to get my hair done. And so the guys already know what time it is. And so they just pull out the money. I mean, if they tap it, they feel like it's kind of some of us, their responsibility. But I mean, I told one of my friends, she was telling me about something. I said, bitch, I'm not fucking you. I don't owe you shit. I don't have to take care of you no kind of way. I ain't paying for your nails, your hair, nothing. I don't give a fuck if you look like a troll. That don't have nothing to do with me because I'm not fucking you. You need to get that money from the nigga that's bouncing up and down on you every night. That don't have shit to do with me. And I straight told her. She was just so upset. She was upset. But don't be coming to me like I'm your nigga. I don't do that. With this one, I'm so I need this and that, this and that. You know how they do? They start that whining. Y'all know what you be doing. And going trying to tap them for some money instead of just asking for directly. I'm like, I need $100. Well, what you need $100 for? What difference does it make what I need it for? I need it. Give it to me. And they be like, well, damn. Well, can't I know what you need it for? Let me think. I need it for an abortion. I'm like, oh, you tripping now? Just give me the money. Just like, oh my God. Hey, I'm not doing that. That's just straight told her that I'm not fucking you. So I'm not giving you shit. So that reason to say that friendship didn't last too much longer. But you're going to have versus holding all of this in though. You're going to have to sit down and talk with her, on the real, and say, I noticed that you do this, 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 and this, and I don't know how much all of that costs, but do you really need all of that stuff? I mean, why don't you put yourself on a budget for 6 months or something and get, pay down your credit card bills and stuff, and then, next time when there's a shoe sale, then we could get our shoes. Something like that. But I don't know. I'm real quick to shut people down when I get tired of hearing them complain. I don't want to hear it. I'm not being paid to be your shrink. Shut up. Either do something to fix the problem or go whine to somebody else because I don't feel like hearing it. I have very short nerve span for that kind of stuff. I don't want to hear it. Yeah, them super chats, or I have a cash app now. Lady Boss put it up there. I still haven't finished setting it up to get the money out of it though, but I do have it. After everybody bitching at me for over a year, I finally set it up. Okay, let's move on to question number 7. This is from a young man in the 30 to 36 age group out of Cardiff, Wales. How did he hear about me in Cardiff, Wales? I think somebody in the UK has been posting my links around. I think that's what's going on. I'm starting to break after 4 months of being in quarantine with my wife in our little townhouse. Where we live, things are mostly still closed, though I've seen things opening up in the U.S. and other parts of the U.K. My wife does a lot of sitting around, usually reading or playing video games, and then she'll see me doing something and wants to join in, but doesn't really want to do the thing that I'm doing. Or her joining makes the thing that I'm doing more inconvenient. Deb, I do enjoy doing things with her. We've been together for more than 10 years and have many shared interests. But now we literally spend every hour of the day together. Oh, the Rona relationships. Sometimes I just want to do something on my own by myself. She gets really upset if I tell her that. Some examples of things that are frustrating. If I simply get up and go on a run or a bike ride, she gets upset that I didn't invite her to come. If I tell her I want to go on a run or a bike ride, she'll say that she wants to come, but then she really isn't into it. She's not a morning person, so she won't wake up early. She can't run as far as I do. I don't mind occasionally running with her, but if I tell her I want to run without her, she gets upset and wants to do something together instead. I bought a small set of weights that now sit in the living room. If I just start working out, she gets upset that I'm doing something without her. But she rarely actually wants to join in lifting weights with me. I resorted to waking up before she does to work out before she wakes up. This isn't limited to exercising. To fill the empty time that we now have in COVID, I've tried picking up some new hobbies. I bought a bunch of woodworking tools and some wood, and I started some projects. She wanted to work on whatever I'm working on, but sometimes I'd rather just work on it by myself. If I need to go to the store for something, she wants to come, but then she gets bored standing around while I'm looking around and complains. I would have gladly gone to the store by myself and not have her complain. I've tried telling her that she could pick up some new hobbies herself. But she just takes offense to that and tells me she wants to be a part of my hobbies. Wow, she needs some shit to do. Um, Sometimes I just want to do something on my own, and she just won't let me. We cook and eat it together every day. We go out and we do things on the weekend, but we're starting to fight and bicker more and more, and I'm getting really frustrated. Oh, honey, yes. I can tell you this COVID stuff has impacted a lot of people's relationships because they're, being stuck around somebody 24/7, 365 is letting them see a whole new side of each other that they did not know existed and don't like. So, what you're going to have to do, sir, is sit down with your wife and you're going to tell her, you know, these are things that I like to do by myself. I will occasionally ask you if you want to join me, but I'm not going to press you to do it. I'm going to go for a run. And you know why I'm not going to want to run with you? Because your legs are short and you're not as fit as me and you can't keep up with me. And I don't want to slow my pace down every time I run to let you, to be at your pace. I'm not going to do that. So I will occasionally slow down and run with you, but it's not going to be every day. And I don't want you asking me. As far as me doing my hobby, this woodworking thing, no. I'm going to work on my projects by myself. I will teach you how to do it. You can have your own project. We can work side by side, but you're not going to be working on my projects with me. That's not going to happen. When I lift weights, I'm going to be lifting weights by myself. I know you're not into it. I am. This is something I enjoy. What I suggest you do is find something that makes you happy. because I can't do that. And you glomping onto everything that I do, and it's taking the fun out of it from me. And I don't like it. We're stuck in this thing. We're stuck here together, but you need to find your own fulfillment, wife. I can't be your toy. And everything that I do is not, it's not negotiable for you to participate. Even when I bring you with me to the store and stuff, I'm excited to go and something about my hobby. But what do? You stand there and become a killjoy complaining. That's not working for me. So you think about what I just said, and then we'll come to some other arrangements. But we've been doing so far, we're not going to do that anymore. And just tell her. Yeah, she got short legs. She got short legs, a little stubby legs. The reason why I know is because that's me. I told you I always used to date dudes that was 6 feet and over. Wasn't my little 5'5"? Of course, I mean their legs as long as I am tall, damn near. And so here we are. I used to run, and I was a pretty fast runner, but no match for a man whose legs are like 5'7", taller than me. And so it's like because a lot of those guys have really long legs and the upper body is not, they're not balanced. And so they have like a shorter torso, but their legs are really long. And so they're running, right? And hitting them strides and they take off and they're really running. Well, my little short, choppy legs, I'm never going to run at their pace. But, once a week or so, we would go what we call a jog. For me, it would be a run. For him, it would be a jog. But it was something we do together. But I had enough sense to know that I'm not going to interfere with his full out sprint with them long ass legs. Shut up, Cassie. Okay, Cassie say baby legs. That's exactly what one of my boyfriends told me. I walk like a baby. It was too funny. But come on now. No, dude, I mean, we're making jokes and everything, but I understand your frustration. But you're just going to have to, you're going to have to tell her. Think about how, you're going to have to be ready for her to pout and probably kick you out the bedroom for a day or two. But she'll get over it. With this, you can't do this. No, you can't. When you got short legs, you can't do longer strides. I mean, it's just impossible. Your legs are like little Smurf legs. You can't do it. Just can't do it. Yeah, but she doesn't seem to understand that she can't, that she can do things by herself. She's not ready for that. So, that's this is gonna be a tough conversation to have, my young friend, but it's one that you need to do for your sanity, because we don't know how long this stuff is going. They keep extending it by another 30 days, 30 days, 30 days. Shoot, we might go through all of 2020 under COVID watch. Question number 7. Thanks, Leandra. Tansy out there politicking. It's too funny. Male, wait a minute. That's the one I just read. Why did I pick that back up? Okay. Question number 8. Female, 21 to 25. It just says USA. My boyfriend went crazy. Ah, and went off on me because he couldn't finish while we were having eggplant. This happened yesterday morning right before he went to work. He wanted a quickie, so I took a quick bath and everything. He tried for more than 20 minutes before he gave up in frustration because he couldn't finish. Then he lost his temper at me and called me all kind of names and hurled very personal insults at me until I was in tears. He said before he left that he expects to see me with a full face of makeup when he gets back. It felt like a punch in my stomach. I've been feeling disassociated and blurred. He brought up memories of my past trauma, and it's been very difficult to deal with it while trying to deal with housework, so I haven't really done anything. I just been pacing around and feeling like I'm in a dream. I'm not sure what to do. Please give me some advice. Oh, look on Google and find that, what was the name of that Keith Edger's last movie? The Joker. Okay, you know that makeup, that full face of makeup that he had on put that shit on. And when he comes in the door, you have that on and say, look, motherfucker, I have on a full face of makeup now. You like me now? That's what you do. And then you run around the house, chase him. Chase him going, ah! Just act stupid. You want to act crazy, you can act crazy too. I done told you how you fight fire with a flamethrower. You can look at me if you imitate how Heath Ledger last acted in that movie. You imitate how he acted in that movie. Dude will soon stop fucking with you. I'm telling you, don't need to know. You know, yeah, she need to leave him alone, but we can't go yet. No, 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 no. First we fuck with you, then we leave. You know, you guys, you know how I am. You know, you're not gonna have the last word. That's gonna be me. So he just needs to be he needs to get clowned real good. But that's the best full face of makeup that I could think of. That shit is creepy. And so you walk around looking like open the door, let him open the door and see that shit. And watch him scream like a girl. And that's what's I know this is the craziest advice show in the world. But people think I'm joking though, but you don't understand how my mind works. See how fast I thought of that? That's some shit I would do. I'm telling you. If I had to go to the store to buy the clown makeup, I would do it. That white shit he had on his face. Or maybe make, flour and water. If you put on some Vaseline and flour it, you get that same white face thing. With a green wig, I don't care what color it is. I have a Halloween wig. I think it's orange. But whatever you need to do, I would just fuck him up. So he's like, you want a full face of makeup? Here you go. And then I would leave. But yeah, girl, you got something. You got you letting some man uh make you feel disassociated and blurred by saying some shit like that. You need to toughen up. When am I gonna do that video on mental weakness? I need to do that quick because this is a bad sign. You gonna be? I'm telling you, all you women, you gonna be out here fucking with these men. You better get your G up, get your mind right. You cannot be all weak and folding up and having all these problems because they say some fucked up shit to you. Say fucked up shit back. What's wrong with you? You don't be letting nobody talk to you crazy. He just be saying some crazy shit. You know what I mean? Well, I know I was talking about that's when I got sick though. I already made this cover page for it and everything, the little thumbnail. But yeah, I don't have no sense. I ever lie and say that I did. I've never said that to anyone. Just but this whole thing of letting men get in your head like that and say stupid shit and you don't say nothing and you crumble to the ground in pieces because they said something. You can't do that. Not with these new breed of men. They just something's wrong with them and they're gonna try to destroy you every time you turn around just because they mad. They're saying all kind of crazy stuff. And if you let that happen to yourself, I mean, it's one thing if you don't know how to fire back like me. Okay, not everybody knows how to do that or has that ability or whatever. But everyone has the ability to control how they feel about themselves based on what somebody else said. Everybody has that. You just got to get control of yourself. But we'll work on that. That's on my agenda to do. But yeah, he couldn't finish. Edie having motherfucker. Now, he went off on you. You supposed to talk about him back. So it's not my fault that your dick is broke and you can't get over it. What's that got to do with me? It's like you want a full face of makeup. You want somebody looking like a fucking tranny. Then you can do it. Is that what you're talking about? I would clown him. That I would clown him. Like that's what you want, somebody with false eyes and all that stuff, just being extra feminine. That what turns you on? Is that what you need? Well, then I suggest you go down there and find it because that ain't here. But first, I would have to clown him first with the Heath Ledger makeup. That would be funny. I would have pictures of myself. I'd be doing selfies and putting them up on Facebook and Instagram. So anyway, that's what you should do. Now, just all that crazy shit I said in there are several different answers of how to handle this guy, but they all involve you geeing up, not feeling bad about yourself based on what he said, and firing back. Okay, get him where it hurts. It's what he deserves. Just slam him, put his nuts in a vice, and talk about his old tranny loving ass. Want somebody looking all kind of extra. Real women don't have to do all of that. Because they just don't, they already confident in their womanhood. They don't need to be all like affected and extra. But he wants somebody to be all extra. So see, that's when I start questioning what their whole focus is. You, that kind that's online talking about I'm looking for a woman with a little extra. That's what he's talking about. Question number 9, female, 21 to 25, out of Dayton, Ohio. I currently live with one roommate who we will call Ann. Ann and I were planning to move in with a third friend of ours who we will call Megan next month in order to have cheaper rent. Okay, so it's going to be three girls in one place. We made these plans in October prior to the COVID stuff. But since March, I have been really begun hating living with Ann. She stopped respecting my boundaries, particularly with stuff related to COVID. There was a point where I absolutely needed her to be socially distanced due to a health concern, and she refused to do so and even lied about her daily activities. I ended up having to move home for about a month until I was no longer at risk. She still has not really apologized for this. Aside from this issue, Ann is just really loud and wakes me up frequently. She doesn't make an effort to be quiet and will often conduct Zoom meetings in our common spaces, rendering them unusable for me. Megan and I are really close. She's extremely excited for me to move in and definitely wants to live with me above Ann. However, this place we're moving to is a student co-op type thing. I'm keeping this vague, that she is in charge of for the year, and so she essentially has to live there. Her apartment within the place is a three-bedroom. The co op has about 5 or 6 units, totaling about 20 students. This also makes me nervous with COVID, as I want to be able to see my family during the school year, and I know that not everybody living there does a great job of social distancing. I really don't want to live there anymore. I'd rather shell the money out for my own place. However, Megan will be absolutely furious if I back out. It's likely would go be the end of our friendship. I have no idea how to go about backing out in a manner that preserves our friendship. I genuinely feel bad about putting her in this position. Oh my God. Okay, there's one thing to be cautious, and it's another thing to just be stupid. You know, whether you was living in a co-op with 20 people, or whether you was living in a dorm, or whether you was living in an apartment building with common areas like a entry hallway and laundry room and stuff like that, or whether you was living in a once family home and y'all had a whole bunch of relatives, siblings and brothers and see their kids and everything, everybody moving in together. So it's the same shit. Okay, there are going to be people that you're going to come into close contact with. That's unavoidable unless you go in your house and you stay in there and you never come out until the thing is lifted. Which, as you see, even that is not necessarily the best thing. There's going to be risk involved in anything that you do. Okay, all you can do in life is take the best precautions that you can, the ones that make sense to protect yourself as best as you can. But you do not run from everything like this. You still have to live your life. Okay. So, if you're willing to give up your friendships and all of that kind of stuff in order to feel safe from COVID, then that's what you have to do. I think you're being just too extra, though. She can get a one bedroom. Well, I mean, but still, right, right. I mean, you go outside, you go to the grocery store, you go, if you have to take the bus or public transportation or something to get to and from work or to visit your parent. I mean, everybody don't have a car. I mean, so you're gonna be in situations where you're around other people. So I don't understand all of this fear that you have. And it's the main thing is, how many people, most of the people, the vast majority, like 90 something percent who have it don't die. So I don't understand what's the problem. I mean, if you got a healthy person and you get it, then you got it. That's just the way that it is. And you get over it, right? But if you're taking all the precautions that you're taking, you shouldn't fall prey to it anyway. So I don't understand what you're talking about because this trying to avoid everybody thing that you're trying to set up here as the reasons why you want to live alone. You're never going to be able to avoid everybody. I mean, just think about it realistically. We live in a world where people, we're in like urban areas. There's no way in this world that you can avoid being around everybody else and just be like totally by yourself. You're going to be around people. All you can do is take the precautions that are recommended. Wash your hands, wear rubber gloves when you go out and you're going to be touching stuff, disposable gloves, all this kind of stuff. Don't be touching your face. Definitely don't touch your eyes. Wear the face shield if you have to be in an area where it's windy. I mean, all these kinds of things. Thanks, Leah. Oh, your mom is a pygmisha? Yeesh. This is just you just doing too much. But you think about it, how realistic what you are talking about is really going to be in actual execution. Right now, you're in fear mode and you're not thinking clearly. I'm not telling you to go make a list of every place that you would be going in this world and how many people going to be there besides you. And you will see that your concern is just over, you're doing too much. Question number 9. Oh, that's the one we just did. Okay. Why am I keep picking up the same page? Question 10, female 21 to 25 out of San Francisco. Hmm. I am so disgusted and sad. I saw something on my boyfriend's phone browser the other day, a website where he posted a picture of me, not nude, just a normal picture. And he wrote that he loves fucking tiny, tight Asian, wow, SL, word, um, like this girl and making them squeal. That's what wrote about his girlfriend, huh? Wow. And someone replied to that it was almost like screwing a young kid, but without any of the legal troubles. To which he replied with another picture saying it almost felt a little like that. And he described me as 4'10" and not even 90 pounds, being less than half his size. He's around 180 and muscular because he likes to lift weights, and how amazing it felt to dominate such a tiny girl like me, saying she's so small and fragile, I can pick her up and do with her whatever I want. He always assured me that he thought I was gorgeous, hot, beautiful. He really does it a lot and it's genuine, which I love because I also have insecurities, sometimes because of my small bosom and butt, which he said he also adored. So why does he turn around and treat me like I'm just an object to him who can write about to others how he likes to use me, using pictures of me to boot as if he doesn't care about me at all? So these are pictures. I'm assuming he's showing your face and everything, right? This motherfucker. I'm just so depressed about it. I feel like I was completely wrong about him and he doesn't love me at all. I'm just like this tiny Asian thing, which isn't even true. I've only ever made love with two men. Him and my ex boyfriend, and both I genuinely loved and thought I'd get married to him who can screw how he wants and then brag to others how I'm a defenseless, half his size and made for carrying around like a doll. I don't know what I should do. I really, really loved him, but now what? Should I leave him and how? I'm scared how he'd react if I told him about it, but I can't pretend like I didn't see anything either. I'm too disgusted with him and how he sees me. I would suggest not saying anything to him because, as you pointed out, he's 180 pounds muscular and you're half his size. Why would you do that? Sometimes women, when you're a tiny lady, especially, and unless your ass is like a double black belt and something, you need to learn when it's time to shut up and when it's time to just put your feet in motion. And this is one of those times. So you have fallen prey to one of these guys who fetishize, and I can bet anything on a dollar that this is a white dude because that's all that's in San Francisco now, whites and Asians. I grew up there, but you can count on two hands the number of black people that live in San Francisco now. It's ridiculous. And so they have this thing like even if you go online on the personal sites, they will advertise that they want an Asian girl. A lot of them will talk about them on these these groups, the five-letter acronym groups. They talk about women from Asian stuff being submissive and docile, and they have like all these stereotypes in their minds about women from these other countries and how they're so much better than American women because they listen to them and all this old stuff. So, you evidently just weren't aware of that kind of stuff. There's no way in this world, if I was an Asian woman, I'd be fucking around with none of these boys. No. I would stick to the rivers and the lace that I'm used to, which is an Asian man. I would not be giving these motherfuckers the time of day because this kind of stuff right here, and this is very upsetting. I noticed hurt you. I can just feel it in the letter. Plus he's just so disrespectful showing your picture on this website, your face, and talking about you like that and then get off and tell people that tells you that he loves you. It's like you can't trust him. So what you need to do if you guys are living together is move out. Go stay with a friend or whatever and tell him you need some time. That's the best way to put it. Make it sound like it's just temporary and then say, I can't do this anymore. I don't want to break up. And then maybe way later, after he's dating someone else, then you can tell him. If you know the website, if you remember the website where he posted this thing, you could write to the administrator of the website, explain the situation, and ask them to take your picture down. And they will. They'll do it. But this is just so egregious. I'm not even sure if I don't know. I don't know if there's anything you could do about. I guess if somebody started harassing you based on that, you could have legal action. But the best thing to do is just get them to take it down and ban him from that website by IP address. And they can do that too. Wow, this is just sad. And see, you having all these insecurities, you work on your self-esteem. These are the kinds of things that make, women vulnerable to these kind of plays because you're looking for all that validation from outside yourself. So he's telling you all this stuff, even though he didn't mean it. Not a word of it, obviously, because his actions are saying that he didn't. His words were saying positive things, but his actions were saying that, he's just a fetish, he's fetishizing you, and that you're nothing but a tool for him to use for his freaky proclivities. So you should get yourself into some therapy so that you can become better, more self-accepting, and appreciate that every woman has beauty in her. Everybody has something about them, at least one thing. I, of course, have everything. But some people, you're so used to feeling comparing yourself to others, and for Asian women who are built differently, you're gonna be comparing yourself to here in the United States a white standard of beauty. You ain't gonna meet that. And for black women, it's the same shit. We ain't gonna meet that either. But just because that's what's promoted as the standard of beauty in the United States, does that make it so? No. That just makes it be some shit that men got brainwashed to think is, great. But the thing that's really creepy here, I forgot about this part. The thing that's really creepy about what he said is comparing you to being small and doll-like and like a kid and stuff. See, now he went into a whole new level of sickness and twistedness there. You need to get away from him, and make sure you don't have nobody that you know who's got little kids around him either. He's just a freak and a fool. But yeah, start making plans to get away. Question number 11. Ugh, this guy makes me itch. Female 225 out of Macon, Georgia. So, last night was supposed to be the start of mine and my boyfriend's 3-day weekend together. All was well. We went to a 4th of July party. Afterwards, we came back to the house and proceeded to have eggplant. We haven't done it in a few days, so I jokingly asked him what was taking so long due to the length of the, you know, situation. At this point, he tells me that he knows how much work I put into losing weight, but my excess skin is a turnoff and it makes it hard for him to finish. It kind of broke me. He went home instead of staying like we had planned because I was obviously visibly upset. This morning he said he doesn't want to break up, but I'm wondering how I'm supposed to move past this. Deb, is this salvageable? Will I always feel less than with him? I would like some insight, especially from anyone who may have been through the same thing. Just so you know, I lost 80 pounds over the last 3 years, and I do have visible extra skin and old stretch marks. I was getting to a place where I felt so good about myself, and now I mentally feel like I'm right back to where I started. Some of that loose skin, you can tighten that up with weight training. I used to do that with my clients all the time. They had that bypass surgery, so you lose a lot of weight real fast, which will definitely leave you with loose skin. If you lose it slower, your skin has its time to adjust. But you've lost 80 pounds over 3 years. That's a lot, and that's pretty fast. But get into some weight training. Look online. They have YouTube videos. You can start with some. Let's say you're a beginner, so maybe 3, 5, and 8 pound dumbbells. Maybe 1 10-pound dumbbell just for like dumbbell squats or something like that. But there's all kind of exercise you can do that will build muscle, and the muscle will fill out your frame and puff. It kind of gives the skin something firm underneath it, so it makes it not look as saggy, and it also kind of stretches out the stretch marks, so they aren't as visible as well. You'll have nice defined muscle tone, and you'll like how you look in the mirror. Okay. It's going to take a while, though, if you've never done weight training. Don't expect instant results. It's probably take about 6 months for you to get the kind of changes I'm talking about. You're going to have to be diligent and make sure that you work out, 3 times a week. But this guy, there's no coming back from this. You have a man who tells you some shit like that, he's just trying to destroy you. There's no reason for him to say that. Again, another one who's trying to blame the woman for his dick problems. It's like it's not your fault that his dick don't work. That's his fault. They be smoking weed and eating all them fried food, chicken burgers and all of those stuff, and greased up big buttery biscuits and all this old shit. Their arteries be clogged, And then those fine little veins and stuff that go into the Johnson get clogged, and then they can't get a boner, they can't keep it up. So then, yeah, they have a hard time, quote, finishing. But that's not your problem. That's his problem. And you supposed to get up and tell him that. It's like, yeah, nothing for the problem. You know, broke ass dick motherfucker. What that got to do with me? That don't have shit to do with me. And it was well, fine all of this time. Now all of a sudden you having problems. Most likely, motherfucker met some bitch. And that's what he's really doing. He's really mad about. He want to be over there. But so you give him permission, send him on his way, and then you get on YouTube and you start looking for some videos and you start your weight training. So the next time he sees you, he'll be like, "Oh, well, damn, wait a minute." That's how you do that. Yeah, he's just stupid. These men, oh my God, it's like why can't I ever run into somebody like that? So I would have a reason to just act a fool. Cause I like to act a fool just on the strength of it's a sunny day. But if I had a reason, that would be like so joyful for me. Man, I could talk shit for days. Days. Yeah, I'm trying to tell you, Queen Eveline. That's the kind of stuff that you do. Then you go get the shortest, tightest mini skirt you can find and some 4-inch heels and get your weave done and your nails did and put on your makeup and stuff and just go strut around looking really good in where were you? Macon, Georgia. Question number 12. Oh my God, it's gonna take me all day to get through these. That's what I'm talking about, can't hide. Female 26 to 29 out of Santa Ana, California. I know in the grand scheme of things this might not seem like a big deal, but right now I feel upset. Last week, my best friend came over and got drunk while playing video games. He ran back home to get another game but left his phone here. I know it was wrong, but I was curious about whether he ever talked about me to his other friends, so I searched my name in his messages and I read some things that bummed me out. He told his friends that we slept together a couple of times and that it was unremarkable. That's fine. We were originally FWB, but became more of a friendship. But when his friends asked him at different times if we hooked up at parties we all went to, and he would tell people no because I can't be, quote, too much and, quote, a lot, and it's for the best that way. His friend also sent a meme about some girl yelling at a guy to be exclusive and said it was about me. He responded by saying it was so true. I never told him I want to date him. He also mentioned that how he hoped I didn't come to two certain events we were both invited to. I was shocked because of how close we are. He would make a joke for his friends. We do almost everything together and spend more time with each other than anyone else. If these are just messages, he probably says those things in real life too. Admittedly, they're from a year ago, but I don't know if that makes it any better. I was quiet for the rest of the night and he noticed. I want to take some time apart, but he'll know something's up. I guess I'm asking for advice on how do I move forward. I can't be honest with how I know, but I'm hurt. Yes, you can. Because my thing is this no, there's no such thing as an accident. So see me, I feel like he left his phone. What man leaves his phone anywhere? Don't they practically take that thing when they go take a piss? They don't want to miss nothing. So he left his phone there for you to find it. That's my stance. And you found it. So now you got to don't be running and hiding. Say, look, when you went home to get some more video games, I looked in your phone and guess what I found? And don't get started with this. Well, you shouldn't have looked at my phone. That's not the point here. The point is that I did. And the point is what you had in there. So you got some explaining to do, buddy. Yeah, I know it was a year ago, but what kind of bullshit is this? You want to be on my face, talk, spending all your time with me and all of this stuff, acting like we the best of friends, but you turn around and say some shit like that? You a two-faced little bitch. That's what you are. How you gonna be acting like you somebody important to me, and as soon as your male buddies get around, you start like acting like a little bitch and cowering in fear and talking shit about me? I don't want no parts. You get the fuck up and get the fuck out. Get out and don't call me no more. This whatever we had, friendship, whatever, is over. And that goes for the rest of you too. If you have somebody that you was fucking with, your FWB, your ex-boyfriend, your ex-husband, your ex anything, any kind of situation that involved his dick. Once you guys break up, you cut ties. You don't be friends with men. Like you can't be friends with men that you've screwed. You can't. You don't do that to yourself. Even if they wanted to be the ones to break up to you with you, they feel like their egos are involved if you get with somebody else, especially if that person's better or you seem unbothered. Then that's when bullshit like this starts. Or in a situation, I guess some of you, you have to deal with them because you have children together, your ex-husband, your baby dad, you're co-parenting or whatever. But make sure you keep very strict boundaries. He's never to spend the night at your house. You'll never to spend the night at his. He comes, he picks up the kids, he leaves. He brings the kids back, he leaves. You pick the kids up, you leave. There's no crossing, no late night conversations, reminiscing, going places together as friends, as a family, all this old shit. You don't do none of that. He takes his kids, he goes. You take the kids, you go. You might run into them at family events like weddings and graduations and stuff like that, where it's unavoidable because everybody's gonna be there. But trying to set aside this little private time and you're gonna be buddying up and stuff, don't you ever do that. Don't ever do it. If you set yourself up to be in situations like this. This is just so horrible. But heed my words. You can't trust them. Once they dick's been involved, you gotta cut ties and be very definitive about it. Question number 13, female 30 to 36 out of Scottsdale, Arizona. My husband, she says, John, and she puts that in quotes. And I have two children, a 2-year-old boy and a 5-year-old girl. 3 months ago, I found I was pregnant with our third kid. This completely blindsided me since we weren't trying, and I had been using birth control. I've been planning on waiting until the 2-year was a little bit older before getting pregnant again, as the birth was highly traumatic. Ooh. However, my husband has always wanted a large family and had been pushing for me to get pregnant again as soon as possible. So at first I believed this would be a happy surprise. I set my husband down soon after and informed her that I'm pregnant again. For the first 2 months, everything was great, and we both discussed excitedly how this might change our lives and how we make it work. However, in the last month, I've noticed something is interesting. For the first 2 pregnancies, my husband was a very keen partner and took an active role as a parent. This time around, though, he's a lot less interested. He doesn't like touching my belly, something he did a lot before, and shuts me down when I try to begin discussing names, saying it's not something he wants to talk about. He's also a lot more emotionally distant from me and is disappearing in the evening for hours at a time without warning, which is causing me a lot of stress. Obviously, there's something wrong, but most of my attempts to get to the bottom of this are shut down. Last week, I was almost in tears asking why he suddenly closed himself off about this. He confessed that he's having doubts that this baby is really his. This hurts a lot, as I've always been entirely faithful, and this has never been a question before. I pushed for more information as to why he think that, and he told me that he just doesn't feel a connection to this baby like he did to our other kids. I asked him how he could even consider the idea of me cheating, and he says, well, he never thought I'd do that. He can't help the way he feels that this baby is a stranger. He admits his feelings about this are irrational, but things haven't been the same between us, and we're now sleeping in separate beds. I'm at the end of my rope. How can I convince him that this baby is his and make things normal? You can't. That motherfucker's cheating. That's what this is. That's what they always do. This is like a script. Um, what they try to do, okay, he's doing something wrong. He is trying to flip it around so that you're on the defensive, so that you think that you're the problem when the problem is him. This is standard. This is like from a book, textbook. It's so standard. This is what they always do. They always have to try to make it be something's wrong with you so that you're doubting yourself and questioning yourself and you're thinking about this made up problem that doesn't even really exist, versus where's this motherfucker going all the time? Why is he staying out so late? He don't have no excuse. What's this all about, this change in behavior? And these accusations all of a sudden. That's what you really need to be thinking about, lady. Not this other stuff he's trying to gaslight you with. That's what's happening here. This is what they do though. Yeah, he's cheating. I mean, I'm telling you, this is a textbook case. This is what they do every single fucking time. They can't even be creative with it. They all have like a little playbook and they do the same shit. So he's not having any doubts that the baby's his. This is all part of the game, girl. So you sit him down. It's your husband. You sit him down. It's like, if I had known that you was going to act like a fucker like this, I would have got a fucking abortion. So I could have got a goddamn divorce. Yo, cheating, lying, black ass. You sitting up here thinking that somebody's going to be you're sitting up here worrying about you and what you do. Soon as I had this baby, this marriage is over, motherfucker. So just get ready. Soon as it pops out, like that fucking day, I'm out of here. Just let him know that you onto his game. So he's thinking he's getting away with something because you all trapped, you tripped up, you don't understand when they start doing stuff like that's what it means. Well, luckily you had enough sense to write to me. So that's what this is. So you just take all these concerns that you have out of your head because they don't exist. This is all game. This is all he's trying to do is run a game. Yeah, the baby's a stranger. Motherfucker. Ooh, these dudes. See, this is why I refuse to get remarried. Cause y'all would be having to do a gun GoFundMe. Cause you have this kind of is projection and it's gaslighting. Um, you all would have to be bailing me out of jail because they would try to play this, any of these silly games I talk about all the time, and I would stab a motherfucker, then I would be in prison. It would be just so ugly, and everybody would be like, "Remember that advice columnist that used to be on YouTube? I heard that she and whatever they have the female version of San Quentin is here in California." Free Deb. That's right. I'm telling you, this is just terrible. But this is standard issue script. Stop thinking about this. Stop worrying about it. Focus instead on what he's doing and where he's going. And if you got somebody that this is a good way to do it. You can't do it. You're gonna have to get somebody that you know. Like when he leaves, you're gonna say, "Look, he just left. You know his car, right? Find out where he's going." And then have this person find out where he's going. And then the next time he goes there, then you show up. That's what you have to do. And you need to do this before you get too pregnant so you can still fight. Question number 14, female, 26 to 30 in the UK. I've been married to my husband for the past year. He's 28. We've been together since college. My mother-in-law called us to live with her during the quarantine as the situation in the city was very bad and the countryside is relatively safer. So fortunately, he and I were lucky enough to be able to work from home, so we decided to move in with mother-in-law. The things were going pretty smoothly until my brother-in-law and his wife came to live with us too. I've never really gotten along with my brother-in-law except the usual hellos and good mornings. I'm okay with his wife. My husband and his brother are super close though. My husband has a more hectic work schedule than I do. He's continuously in conferences or meetings. He spends his days shut inside of a room. I'm more flexible and I get a lot of free time. One weird thing I noticed early on was that my brother-in-law would show up wherever I was. If I was in the library, he'd come to the library. If I was in the garden, he'd come to the garden. This house we're in is big, so unless you intentionally go looking for somewhere, you not never end up in the same place. He then tried to flirt with me or compliment me. Initially, I did not think it was flirting. I just thought he was trying to get along with me. But over time, it became blatantly obvious because the touching started. Then he started trying to put his hands around my shoulders and bumped into me in doorways and stuff. All this behavior would stop if my husband or anybody else was around. Interesting. But yesterday, when I came out of the shower, I was wearing nothing but a flimsy piece of towel wrapped around me. There he was sitting on my bed in my room. I asked him what the fuck he was doing in my room. He shrugged and said he would just wanted to talk. I told him to get out. As he was leaving, he squeezed my backside and winked. I couldn't react in that moment because I was so shocked. I dressed up and decided to confront him about his predatory behavior. I went up to him. He was with his wife and asked him what to stay the fuck away from me or else I'll sue him for sexual harassment. He feigned innocence and asked me what I was talking about. I lost it and started crying while recounting all the stuff he did that made me uncomfortable. He laughed and told me that this wasn't sexual harassment, that I was a prude and that I was very narcissistic to think that he would be interested in me when he already has a wonderful wife. His wife decided to chime in and said that I shouldn't trivialize sexual harassment and I should have said something earlier if I wanted people to believe me. She also said that, I quote, "You're probably just feeling lonely because your husband's locked up in a room all day, so you want some excitement from brother-in-law." I don't know what to do. Yes, I should have told my husband earlier. I didn't because I wasn't even sure if this was sexual harassment, and I didn't want to ruin his relationship with his brother with a misunderstanding. Even his wife is supporting him and saying I'm making it a bigger issue than it is. I'm sure my husband will believe me if I tell him, but brother-in-law and sister-in-law's words have led me to doubt myself. What should I do? Oh my God, you all kill me with this trying to protect grown-ass men. What do you have a husband for if you're going to just protect him? Where's the part where he gets to protect you? You women kill me with this shit. And then thinking that you have the power by just one little words to make somebody's whole relationship mess up. Well, I destroyed his relationship. No, the motherfucker who put his hands on you destroyed the relationship. That's not you. Stop feeling guilty about stuff. This is so stupid. This kind of stuff, I don't even understand this kind of thinking with women. Trying to run around and protect the abuser, protect the husband, protect everybody else except for yourself. The second he did that, you were supposed to tell your husband, I noticed something. Every time I go around, brother-in-law keeps showing up and it's really weird. It's kind of creeping me out. Why don't you talk to him? Okay, once you do that and you pass that baton, if husband doesn't do anything and the shit accelerates, well, then you go back to husband and say, look, I told you not to, to say something to him. Today I come out the shower, this mother, and in the towel, because I'm thinking I'm in the room by myself, this motherfucker's sitting on the bed. So he's seeing, then he grabs my ass as I threw him out the room. What are you going to do about your trifling piece of shit brother? So then that's when it becomes an issue. And really, at that point, that's when you and your husband need to get in your car, pack your stuff up, and go back to your house. That's what you should do. Is it? I don't know what the fuck it is, but I'd be singing like a canary. Because by the time he was in my room, I would have been screaming like a fool, so everybody in the whole house would have heard. Get the fuck out! Are you in my bedroom? You freak! You nasty pervert! So everybody would have heard, and so everybody would come running, and they would have seen him leaving out the bedroom. You see what I mean? So what he gonna say? Why would you in the bedroom when you know I'm in the shower? And how she know he didn't open the door and was peeping at her in the shower anyway? I don't put nothing past these kind of people. But this is the stuff, and the rest of you too. You have a husband, you have a boyfriend. I don't give a fuck what kind of situation it is, who the person is. If he has friends, relatives, family members, his daddy, his brother, his cousin, his nephew, his uncle, anybody, his best friend does something or says something untoward towards you, tell him immediately. He cannot do anything about it to defend you if you don't tell him. Open your mouth. Stop trying to protect men all the time. They protect themselves. It's their job to protect you. Tell him what's going on. Okay, now, if you tell him and he don't do nothing about it, well, then now you know what time it is. You can protect yourself or you can get out that relationship and away from him and all his fucked up friends and family. That would be my choice. Yeah, they have boundaries, but see, dude is in his house, and so he's fantasizing about his brother's wife, and he don't have enough sense of restraints to keep his fantasies a fantasy. He trying to make him come too. He's a predator. Luckily they don't have any like teenage girls in the house, because it would be all over for them. This guy is a nightmare. A nightmare. I don't know. I don't trust men like this. Question number 15, male, 46 to 55, out of Raleigh, North Carolina. My wife, she's 36, lost her job recently, while I'm almost 50. I'm working from my home office because I don't often get a chance to take breaks. She's kind enough to bring me a coffee every once in a while. Nothing fancy, just regular filtered coffee. This used to only happen once every few hours. So in an average that day, I drink maybe 2 to 3 cups of coffee. That was fine. The problem has come in recent weeks. When I sit down at my desk, usually 8 to 8:30, there's a steaming cup of coffee waiting for me. Great, I drink it. But almost as soon as I finish, my wife will come in and leave me with a fresh cup of coffee. Every 15 to 20 minutes, she comes into the room and brings me more coffee. I like coffee enough in the morning, but I don't need to be chugging gallons of it throughout the day. And the mugs that she brings me are not small either. There are some issues I don't know how to explain or address. If I let the coffee go cold, she will make upset faces and often refuse to speak to me, sometimes for hours or even a full day, until I ask her for more coffee. I'll admit that sometimes I deliberately don't drink my morning coffee on purpose just so I can get a few hours of peace. We've talked about this repeatedly and almost daily at this point. Every time she comes in with the coffee, I'll tell her that I've had enough and I don't want any more. She will often just silently put the coffee down next to me, and then the process will repeat again. I've asked for other drinks, water, Coke sometimes, and she will sometimes bring these instead. But as soon as I finish, she will bring me another coffee. Now I'm getting regular headaches, nausea, and sometimes I'll be able to feel my own heartbeat. I don't think for a second that all this coffee is good for me. Your wife's trying to kill you. Whatever she's putting in your beverages is masked by the heat of the coffee. That's why she get upset when it goes cold. What I suggest is you stop letting your wife bring you anything to drink. Wise up, sir. Wise up. You're almost 50 years old. That kind of caffeine, accelerates your heart rate, raises your blood pressure. It's going to push you into a heart attack or stroke land. So this is what you do. This is what you do. They have these, you can get like a planter or something. And then you're going to put like another planter inside of it. So every time she bring you that coffee, you're going to pour it in there. And then you're going to put that empty cup over there, and then she's going to pour it in there. And at the end of the day, you can see how much coffee she would have tried to put into your body And then you can show it to her and you can say, don't bring me no more fucking coffee. I don't understand why y'all can't stop this kind of stuff. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's something in there that she wants him to have, and she wants him to die quick, or have a stroke quick, or have a heart attack quick. So something's up. But this is not her behavior. Is not normal, especially her reaction to you saying, and I don't want any more, and she brings it anyway, and frowns when you don't drink it. There's an agenda here, sir. You need to, I don't know, I would be like getting up out that house personally, but I do tend to overreact. But that would if I told you I don't want no more and you bring me some anyway, then I would throw it at your head as you was leaving out the door and say, I said I don't want no more fucking coffee. Well, part of no, did you not understand? But see, that's me. Most people, he sounds like a nice guy, but I admit that's not me. It's like I told you no, God damn it, that's what I meant. Be trying to force this shit down my throat. Fuck you. And that would be that. She ain't that smart because, whatever's in there these days, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, not in her face because it's hot. You throw it at it's gonna land on the wall near her or something like that. And you be like, and now clean that shit up and stop bringing me fucking coffee. Don't bring me nothing. If I want something to drink, I'll get it my damn self. You go to Costco and get you some of them bottles of water and some juices. These things here, this shit here is good. Get you some of these and some, Calistoga waters and all that kind of stuff. Put that shit in your office and you drink that. Yeah, she trying to get that insurance money. Say, oh my God, I don't know what happened. He was just working quietly in his office and now he's dead. How much I get? Now, her girlfriend is doing the most. Okay, anyway, that's what I'm telling you, sir. That's what's going on. You better take heed. Don't you think that's kind of suspicious? And she just keep bringing it. You need to throw it at her. You need to do something dramatic so that she understands that the gravy train is over. Tell her to have a cup too. Yeah, but then you got to switch cups with her though, because otherwise she gonna fix up his cup and then she gonna have her cup. So the only way that's gonna work, you got to switch cups like they used to do in the Three Stooges, and then they switch back right every. So after a while, you don't know which cup is what. Yeah, he's a little naive. But this is how you can tell when people are like nice people. They don't have this kind of game and this kind of suspicion about activities. When you a hood rat, you be suspicious of everything. It's like any kind of shit that's outside the ordinary, you be like, no, kind of side eye. And I don't care if it's a husband or a wife. It could be my own mama. I'm gonna be like, what's really going on? All right, let's move on. Question number 16 of 25. Female, 30 to 36, out of Washington, D.C. She says, oh my God, Deb, my mom recently found out that her 65-year-old boyfriend exposed himself to a child 10 years ago. Do I insist that she tell my sister because my sister has little kids? My mom told me that her boyfriend ex- shared that he exposed himself to a 5-year-old and asked them to touch it. He swears to her that it was the biggest regret of his entire life and it only happened at one time. I bet she found out that he had also been molested his entire childhood. My mom says she will never leave him alone with the grandkids. My nieces are 2 and 4. My nephew is 8. And because of that, she doesn't think my sister needs to know. My sister already has a very strained relationship with my mother and doesn't like the boyfriend for other reasons. So this news will definitely be like a nail in the coffin for their relationship. I feel bad for the guy about his past and people deserve second chances. But I feel I have to protect my family. Damn Skippy, is it fair for me to insist that she tell my sister, or is my mom right that as long as the kids are supervised, then my sister doesn't need to know? No, your mother's wrong. It's 2 left feet and a box of Cracker Jacks with no prize inside. You don't wait for your mother to do it. You do it. That's why your mother told you. Don't you understand what's going on? She knows she has a bad relationship with your sister, so she's scared to tell her. You tell her. You say, "Hey, sister, I just found out. Mom told me, blah 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 blah. I think she told me so I could tell you because she's scared to tell you herself. So in the meantime, you make sure that you keep the kids away from that house." They don't need to go over there. If they want to see their grandmother, she needs to come over here, and he stays there. Don't ever take them over there, because anytime there's going to be a family event or anything, do you know how kids be running around? I'm telling you guys, that's one of the major opportunities that pedophiles and families take to get your kids, because you adults in another room, y'all drinking, talking, playing cards, dominoes, all sorts of stuff with the kids. They in another room, they running around, they outside running around, and then you don't notice when Uncle Festus gets up and cousin Louie gets up and so and so get up, and the neighbors from next door wandering around where the kids are. You ain't paying attention because you in there laughing and hooping and hollering and dancing and having a good time with the other adults. You ain't paying attention to your kids. That's the number one opportunity that they take to do some devious shit to children because nobody watching them. Y'all feel like it's a safe environment because it's family. Family's the number one people who victimize them because they're the ones that have access. You watch out for the strangers. You ain't watching for the family members, and they're the ones who are usually the perverts. Okay? Yeah, Uncle Chester the molester. So you know what I mean? You can see it too many times. I mean, heard the stories too many times about how these kind of things happen. And the mothers, you ain't watching your kids because you finally feel like you can take a break because it's a family event. Family. You feel bad about his past and he deserves a second chance. He don't deserve no second chance when it comes to kids. There's no second chances. One time is it. It's a fatal error. You don't get a second chance once you have victimized a child. That's it. One time, that's it. Three strikes in one. So I don't know what you're talking about on that tip right there, but you need to sing like a canary and tell your sister. You need to protect these little kids 2, 4, and 8. And not stop worrying about some 65-year-old dust bucket. Question number 17, female, 30 to 36 out of Memphis. I have recently ended a 15-year relationship and reconnected with my high school crush from 20 years ago. I have strong feelings for him. He makes me feel like I'm exactly where I should be. He has told me that he likes me numerous times, but he's also been giving me some mixed signals. I seem to be the one to text him first, make plans. I am constantly reminding him of when my ex has the kids, thinking he would ask me to hang out. We have great conversation. He's opened up to me about a few things that are deep. I've met his 18-year-old daughter, his mom, a few friends, and other family members. He only introduces me by my name. Unfortunately, I have recently found out that he's still active on dating sites. A bit hurtful, but we never said we were official. My issue is that he knows I want to be with him. He says he doesn't want to lose me, that I'm important to him. We have eggplant. We have had eggplant, and he said that I'm not just a hookup, but he still isn't willing at this point to move things forward. We have always had a click since we met, and I really don't want to lose him again. I'm just confused because his words and his actions don't match. I have slowed down on texting him, and he has made a few attempts to text me. I'm just not sure if I'm eating my time or if things will work out. Yes, you're eating your time, as you call it, which is wasting your time. And this is what they call a situationship. You're way into him way more than he is to you. He's just in it for the booty. And you all caught up in, the Wayback Machine and thinking about what we're in and, we're used to this and all of this kind of stuff, which is fun. It can be romantic and stuff if you guys are on the same page. But obviously he's not. And you have strong feelings for him, and you say he's giving you mixed signals. That means he doesn't have strong feelings for you at all. Men who have strong feelings for somebody they don't give mixed signals. They're one way. He's there for you. His words match, his actions match. He thinks of ways he can make you happy. He thinks of ways that he can, cover you so that shit don't land on you. He's like your biggest cheerleader. He's your hero. He's all those kinds of things. I'm saying he's going to be perfect, but I'm saying this is the general trajectory of his behavior and his words. They are matched. They're in sync. You can count on him. This dude's all over the place. And, he's meeting all, you introducing him. He's introducing people, but he don't introduce you by your name. You don't have no title. You didn't understand what that meant. He just thinking you just, something to do. And he's still on dating sites. Yeah, because he's still single. He's supposed to be on dating sites. Okay, that's not your man. The fact that you slept with him, that was a mistake. You probably shouldn't have done that because you one of those kind of ladies that can't separate, love from sex. So when you start doing stuff, you start getting your feelings involved. This is a situation you should never have put your heart at all. Um, And we have always had a click since we met. I'm thinking that click is on your side, and he's just like, this is just an opportunity to tap that ass. Okay, so you get yourself together, get your mind right, and stop putting all kinds of emotion into the situation. It's unwarranted. He's not feeling you like that. You're not his woman. He hasn't made a claim on you. He don't even want to, ask you out with any kind of regularity. When a dude wants to be with you, he's in your face so much. You be like, damn, can I leave? Can I have a night by myself? Can I? You just go somewhere, stay at your house or something? No, I'm not gonna talk to you on the phone. I want to talk to some of my friends and catch up on the neighborhood gossip and stuff like that. They just want to be around you all the time. So you're chasing something here that's not. It's just not gonna happen. It's a waste of time. Okay, question number 18 of 25. This is a woman, 21 to 25 age group out of Tampa. I'm 22, my boyfriend's 24. I'm applying to law school, and this has been clear in my relationship since the beginning. My boyfriend has had a stable job for 2 years. We've been dating for three, all of which have been long distance. Summers and school breaks we spend together. My boyfriend recently pitched the idea that he didn't want to do long distance anymore once I graduated. He offered to uproot his life and move with me to wherever I enroll for law school. I told him I don't think we're ready for all of that, and that I personally feel that I'm too young to live with somebody, and I wanted to figure out law school by myself before introducing him into the mix. This brought up a lot of concern about why I didn't feel ready. My boyfriend openly admits that I'm the girl of his dreams and that he would like to one day marry me. I know that I love him and that I've grown from my relationship with him. However, I don't know if it's fair that I continue this relationship if I don't want to take the next step. Our relationship has been long distance since the beginning, which led to a lot of issues over the past where I haven't felt the romantic element of togetherness. Even when we are physically together, he struggles to plan any romantic dinners or dates, tells me it's my responsibility to plan shared vacations, and struggles with paying me compliments. Oh no, he's a dusty. I have openly told him I feel like we're more best friends and with benefits than a couple. He has told me in the past that if he were single, he would be much wealthier. His pitch for moving in together is that when we're long distance, I'm out of sight, out of mind. Oh, he's telling you everything that you need to know here. So he forgets to be romantic and attentive. I honestly don't think he was ready for a romantic relationship, but we do love each other and are best friends. So he's expressing he doesn't understand what I'm so unsure about. We have comparable sense of humor and personalities, and I do love him, but I still feel like the underlying element of a relationship is something that I want to feel. Our love languages are just not compatible. I want to feel that my partner believes that I'm beautiful, intelligent, and he's proud of me. I want to be in a relationship where my partner does thoughtful things for me, not just because it's my birthday, but because he randomly thought of me. I told my boyfriend that it hurts that he only expresses to me how great he thinks I am when we're making up from an argument. All of these things are all of these things realistic to want, or do men not actually do this? I know that we're both young, but I don't want to do either of us the disservice of allowing the relationship to continue if I don't feel that we have a long term future. I may also be hypocritical of the relationship because we're in a rough patch. Hey, Leandra, just a question. We're in a rough patch. Are these normal pitfalls of relationship that people learn to deal with? No, 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 no. Let me see again. Your letter was kind of long, girlfriend. Tampa, 21 to 25. You only 22. He's only 24. Let me tell you what I just told the other woman. I'm going to reiterate slightly differently, though. You have a man who's away from you, and he says out of sight, out of mind to your face, and you stay in a relationship with him? Don't you understand? See, this is what kills me about young girls. You all hear what the men's saying, but it doesn't, somehow it goes in your ears and it doesn't land in here so that you're not paying attention to what the meaning of those words are. That means he don't give a shit about, he don't be thinking about you when you're not in his face. Who wants a relationship with a man like that? You have every right to have that kind of passion and that kind of romance. You ain't going to get it here. He flatly told you, you ain't in my face, I don't think about you. Out of sight, out of mind. You know who I say that to? People I absolutely don't give a shit about. Actually, usually even when they're in my face, I don't really care. But who I say that to. So, you have a lot of concerns. You don't feel ready. You know this is the wrong thing to do. He tells you have to plan the dates. You have to plan the vacation. He don't never want to, plan anything. He don't ever want to give you compliments unless he's trying to make up after a fight. You feel like you're friends, not really lovers. And then the frosting on the cake is that out of sight, out of mind. So what I'm going to tell you is really, you should do it now. You should do it now. So when you start law school, he's history. Okay. So tell him, you can quote me, say, I've been giving this a lot of thought and, about the history of our relationship and how we interact with each other. And this is not the kind of relationship that I want long term. It served its purpose. I've grown from this a lot, and it's not like I hate you or anything. But there's no point in continuing this because the way that we relate to each other is not what I want for long term. It's not the kind of situation I want to be in as a husband and a wife, raising children together, and all the things that I want to do. This isn't it. This isn't it. You're a nice guy, but you're not the perfect guy for me, and I'm looking for that perfect man for me. And that's the perfect situation. It's not even close. So when I go to law school, I will be leaving and I will be going by myself. We're not. That's not going to happen. Or however you want. Well, she can't ghost them because they've been dealing with each other for too long. You can't ghost somebody that you've been dealing with for 3 years. Can't hide. That you can't do that. He knows her family. He knows everything. You can't. That's not how you do it. This is going to require, like a thing, a closure moment, a conversation. Um, but, just tell him you've given it a lot of thought and then explain your position. And he's going to want to tell you why you're wrong, why it's not that way, that you shouldn't think that way, that he can change. He's going to come up with all kind of stuff like that. You just keep saying, I've made up my mind. Stay like a robot. I've made up my mind. Don't argue with him. Don't try to justify it. Don't explain nothing. You did the one explanation. That's it. That's all you get. I've made up my mind. Don't do this in person. Do this, since you're long distance, over the phone or Zoom or whatever. Not in his presence. Okay? And don't tell him when you move. Don't give him your new phone number because you're going to change it. And don't give him your address where you moved to. Make sure that everybody who knows you don't do that either. Okay? Actually, why they could just send shit to your mother's house and your mother can forward it to you. They don't need to have your new address. Let's just do it that way, okay? Let's move on to question number 19. Male, 30 to 36, USA. We've been dating for about 8 months, and when my girlfriend and I get a bit drunk together, she will decide that's the perfect time to bring up things from the past and start an argument. I noticed it happening and brought it up. Then the very next night, after some drinking, she brings up how I tried to quit smoking and I failed. My mother had gone into the hospital with COVID and it was a very stressful time. And that meant I couldn't keep to my word, and she was angry that I didn't explicitly say I can't quit before lighting up again. As it was happening, my whole body was screaming at me to leave, so I went for a walk. It's happened a couple of other times since about different things, and when it does, the next few days she'll be depressed and disappointed in herself and withdraw from me. I don't really know what to do. You break up. You only been dating for 8 months and it's all this bullshit and drama. Why do these people hang on to these waste of time relationships? Dude, okay, she's already revealed that she's a drunk, and when she's drunk, she gets morose and stupid. Why would you want to think that that's something that you should be bothered with? And she's going to be trying to nitpick on you and harp on shit and then be all depressed and shit. See, I don't have time. When people get like that, I just cut them loose. I don't have time for your depression and your mood swings and your wanting to start arguments about stupid shit. Now, I hope that you talking about, she withdraws from you. I hope that you did in late months of dating, you all ain't living together, because if you did that was a stupid, stupid, stupid bonehead move. So if that's the case, then one of y'all going to have to move out. And if that's not the case, then you just break up. Either way, this is over. This is a waste of time. Well, see, but we don't understand, though, the way he says she withdraws from me. That leads me to believe they may be living under the same roof. You feel me? But these people don't want to move in 2 weeks after they meet and stuff. I don't understand that at all. Question number 20, female, 26 to 29, Jersey City, New Jersey. My boyfriend of 1 year has never treated me with a lot of respect. He was very neglectful of us as a couple. I had to beg him to spend time with me because everything and everybody came before our relationship. He had to socialize with his friends every single night after work, consuming alcohol, and then he would come home at midnight or 1 in the morning. Oh, and by that time he was too tired to spend any time with me, so our time together consisted of me watching him sleep. He also has a key to his ex's apartment, which I had no idea about until he told me 3 days ago. Then I found out he sleeps there while she's out of town on the night she doesn't sleep at my house because it's a place that him and his buddies can hang out. He doesn't see any problem with having a key to her apartment while he's in a new serious relationship with somebody else. He pursued me for 2 years before I would tell him okay to try a relationship. Finally, I got fed up and broke it off with him yesterday. And last night, literally the same day, he already has another woman in the picture. And it's not his ex. One of his friends told me that he hung out with another female. I am so devastated. How can you mistreat somebody, watch them hurt and cry and feel lonely, and then when they get fed up and finally leave you, kick them when they're down even more? How do I even move on from this? Why would somebody pursue a relationship so hard just to fuck it up all so bad? And I have done everything for him. I've been nothing but a loyal woman, and I became close with his kids. Why would a man do this? Will he ever realize what he has done? Let's refer back to the beginning of your letter, young lady, 26 to 29. My boyfriend of 1 year has never treated me with a lot of respect. That's all I needed to hear. Okay, you knew what time it was when you started fucking with him. But what did you do? Waste a year of your life trying to do, I don't know what you was trying to do. Begging somebody to spend time with you after he pursued you for 2 years. He just wanted to tap that ass. Once he got it, he was done. You don't understand that? He had to socialize with his friend. He's drinking and he's got a key to his ex's house and he stays over there. He got a key to his ex's house. What makes you think that he only uses it when she's not there? I mean, I know you just found this out 3 days ago, and that seemed to be the catalyst for you to break up with him. But the real catalyst should have been sentence number one. He has never treated me with a lot of respect. In the future, if you get with a guy and he starts disrespecting you, please break off. Break it off. Break it off immediately. You should not be going a year into a relationship with a man who treats you disrespectfully. A man that you have to beg to spend time with you. Yeah, men do consider crying a weakness. That's why you do. If you're gonna do anything, you make them cry. You don't cry. You cry when you get home. You cry when you go to your mama's house. You cry when you go to your best friend's house. In the closet, in the dark, with a pillow on your face. You don't never cry in front of a man. Never do that. Never. You make them cry. Yeah. Mm-mm. I wish a motherfucker would. I'm trying to think when was the last time I cried. Especially over a man. That had to be okay. Well, I did cry when my husband died. I have to admit that, but that wasn't like it was a different situation. I cried when my mama died. I cried when my daddy died. I think that's about it. The last times I've cried in the last 30 years. I don't cry. I make other people cry. You can't do that. I'm telling you, that's just you can't show me in that kind of vulnerability. Question number 21, female 30 to 36 out of Los Angeles. I really thought I would never have to write an advice column because my relationship had been doing so well, yet here I am. I was with my boyfriend last night and he smokes. And I told him I didn't want him to smoke in my car since I had just bought it. The first time he listened, but the second time he insisted I let him smoke through the window/door. However, to try to act funny, he stayed blowing smoke at my face into the car. I grabbed his phone as a joke. I am not the type to look through his phone. She put that in caps. To get him out of the car. Like a if you want your phone back, go smoke outside move. He kept being stubborn, so I swiped on his phone where it shows you some previews, but you're not really in the phone because you haven't put the password in. Anyways, my intention was not to snoop around or find anything, but then I swiped, I saw his Snapchat best friends list, and they were all girls. Every single one of them, not just his friends. I know his friends. They're just other girls he's clearly talking to. Is this cheating? Am I overreacting? Is there even a way to come back from this because of how I can trust him? That's not even the point here. 30 to 36, you ought to know better. The point is you got a brand new car that you paid for. That's your property. You're proud of it. You invested in it. This is yours. And you tell him you don't want him to smoke in it, and he does it anyway. That's why you break up with him. It's not because of what's in his Snapchat. What's wrong with you women? This man blatantly disrespected what you talking about, and he's showing that what you say ain't shit, that what you spend your money on ain't shit. He gonna do what the hell he wants to, and if he fucks up your car by burning a hole in something with some cigarette ash, oh well. That's what he do, because he's jealous because you have something new that his dusty ass couldn't afford. Get rid of this bum. Get rid of him. That's the kind of stuff that's just blatantly disrespectful. And then, but your focus isn't so much on that. I mean, you mentioned it, but it seems like, and you talking about he kept being stubborn. I mean, he just going to do it anyway, no matter what you feel like is right for your property. No, he'd have to go. He'd have to go. You focusing on the wrong thing. Who cares about some broads on Snapchat? Why is that even important? That what's in the real world is what's important. What's in the real world is he's telling you, kiss my ass, I'm going to fuck your shit up. And I don't care what you say about it. That's what you need to be focusing on. This is insane. Yeah, but they don't even really have the man. That's the part that's really that they don't seem to get. You have a guy treating you like this and talking to you. That's not your man. That's some dude that's just fucking you. Okay? He don't like you. He don't respect you. He don't even want you. You just something to do. Okay, but you thinking because he spends time with you and rides around in the car with you and smokes up your car and makes it stink, that means you have a man and you worried about what he's looking at on Snapchat. You should hope one of them broads come and take him so he can go fuck up their car. That's what you should be looking at. Oh my God. No, let me tell you. You want to talk about somebody dropping somebody off in the middle. Okay, time for another Deb story. When I was in Houston, I was going out with this dude, right? And I had a little Honda. I had bought a new Civic. It wasn't a big car, but I was a college student, so I mean I wasn't, I was making good money though, comparatively speaking, because I was working at a law firm, so I was making like 3 times as much as most of my other friends. And so I had bought this little Civic, and a little hatchback kind, and so we in the car, right, and we going down. What was that street? Not Westheimer. It's over. I can't remember. But anyway, it's a very busy street in Houston that goes all the way from downtown all the way out to southwest Houston and beyond. And Richmond. We're on Richmond Boulevard, Richmond Avenue. And so it's busy. It's like 3 lanes going each direction, right? So this is a busy street. This motherfucker got to, and you think my temper's bad now. This is toned down by 100. So I'm in the car and I'm driving. This is my car. And he said something I didn't like and was talking all kind of shit and everything. Do you know I stopped my car? People squealing and cutting around us and stuff. I gave no fucks. I turned sideways in the street because that's when I was still young and flexible. I turned sideways in the street like this, and I put my feet up in the air and I started kicking him like that. And I was kicking him all in his face and his shoulders and chest and everything. He's doing all like this, trying to get away from my feet. He opened up the car door and jumped out, right, to get rid of me, to get away from my flying feet of death. And then I reached over, I closed the door, hit that lock button, and drove off. Left that nigga standing in the middle of 3 lanes of traffic, people honking at him like crazy. You think I gave a fuck? I hope somebody ran that motherfucker over. Maybe 3, 4 times. That would have been about right. Oh, my God. I was so mad. And it's like, that's how I react when you in my car and you just say something I feel is disrespectful. You getting the fuck out. And you getting out right now. And I don't care if we're in the middle of traffic. You're getting out of my car. I'm not going to pull to the side. I'm not going to do nothing. You just going to get out. But you getting out. This is it. Over. And you think I talked to that nigga again? Mm-mm. Nope. That was it. Done. Another one, we was in a restaurant, right? And something happened. I forgot what so he said something I didn't like. And we was in the restaurant. And he had come in my car, right? I'm like, oh no. I stood up. I'm going to the bathroom. I went around they had another exit, went around the building, got in my car, drove off. Last time I saw him. He was blowing my phone up, calling me, trying to figure out what happened. I was like, I never answered. And that was the end of that too. I don't take disrespect. I'm just not going to do that. You say one thing I don't like, one thing that I feel like you trying to slam me, criticize me, condemn me, have any negative thing to say about anything I do, where, say, where I go, my friends, my family, anything. Anything I don't like, because I didn't ask your fucking opinion. So keep it to yourself. When I want to hear what you got to say about something, I'll ask you. And then I'll tell you what to say. So either way, it's still not going to be your opinion. But, they be trying to, just trying to tell you some shit. And they're like, you give a fuck. I don't give a fuck what you think. You out your mind. Who told you could think anyway? You don't have enough brain cells to think. Oh, low IQ having motherfucker. Oh, my God. I don't know. But yeah, I threw that motherfucker out. And those of you who live in Houston know Richmond. I don't know what it's like now. This was a while ago. But it was a very busy street. And yeah, I didn't care. I was just like, I don't know where all that flexibility came from. I wish I could do something like that now. I'd be stuck behind the wheel like a turtle on his back, trying to get out. It would be hilarious. I'm telling you. Oh my goodness. Where was I? Okay, yeah. Yeah, so that's the deal there, girlfriend. You on the wrong track. Question 22 of 25. I can't believe I'm almost done. Female 26 to 29 from Lansing, Michigan. My long-term boyfriend left me and I was okay with it. It was somewhat mutual. I didn't cry or beg him to stay with me. So it's been about 4 months and he's dating somebody else, which I'm fine with. We broke up on good terms. That's why I wasn't upset. But he contacted me the other day saying he misses our friendship, then asked, has any guy tried to talk to me yet? He sent me selfies of himself. Oh, girl, his self, wearing the hat I bought him, and then asked me to send him selfies back. He then said, I still love you, sweetie. I didn't send him anything. What was that about? Well, he's sniffing around because he's trying to find out if he can set up what I call the reminiscing trip. This is what they do. So they come into your life, right? They get on the phone or they say, let's see you. And then they start with taking you through the Wayback Machine. This is the standard issue track that they do. And so they start, well, yeah, remember when we met? Remember when we used to do this together? And I remember that time you did this and that. And then they pull out pictures or videos of them on their phone and they show you all the stuff. Or, ticket stubs that they've saved and their scrapbook of you together and the picture that they have in the box in the closet. And they talk about all the stuff and mama still ask about you and all the stuff. So anyway, they get you into this nostalgic state of mind. This is all game. So y'all hear me now. This is the same script they run every single fucking time. It never fails. Okay, so you feeling all, soft and mushy, thinking about, oh yes, those used to be good times. Those used to be good days. Oh my God. It was so beautiful. Whatever happened, maybe we can get that back. That's what they want you to think. So then they suggest, well, why don't I come over? Or why don't you come over here? Let's get together. So then they up to Annie, and it all starts, with this kind of conversation. I still have feelings for you. I'm not over you. I don't understand what I was doing. I was stupid. I was wrong. I was crazy. She nice, but she ain't you. She good, but she ain't you. She don't do this and that like you do. She don't make the sweet potato pie like you do. She don't, whatever. This is gonna be some comparison where he elevates you to a better position than what she is, right? So he starts getting your head blown up. You thinking, yeah, that's right, because I know I was the best. And so some of you will bite and you will then set yourself up to be in competition with this woman thinking that you're going to get this man back, right? And then, so he plays the game so he can slide in there and tap that ass since you ain't had nobody else tapping it for a while. So you see, that's what this is all about. This is why when you break up with someone, whether it's a good breakup or bad, you block them so they can't talk to you anymore. They should not be able to contact you to see how you are, nothing. They shouldn't be able to follow you on social media. They shouldn't be able to check your Snapchat, your Instagram, your Facebook posts, like your pictures, nothing. They should have no access to you whatsoever. That's the mistake that you made. Okay, so then here he is sending you selfies of a hat that you brought. See, he's working the nostalgia thing. And then I wants you to send him selfies back. Luckily, you had enough sense not to do it. So what you do if you're gonna send him a selfie, you send one like of this. See, you send him this. That's the selfie. That's the only picture he gets of you, and you can find those online. You know, not showing your face or anything, just that. Or if you do want to show him your face, you can do like this. Okay, then he gets, he got your face with them two things. I bet you want to ask you for no pictures now. He won't ask you for shit else. What you do that for, can't hide. I want all my exes to die. That's why I be trying to run them over with my car. I want them to just be like, picked up off the planet by the aliens and dropped off on some other planet somewhere where there's no oxygen and they die there, like a fish out of water. That would just make me so happy to hear something like that. Or to become an alien experiment and get all chopped into pieces. I sit there and I think about stuff like that. I think that's like something's wrong with me. I think of ways that they could die. Remember that TV show, the series called 1001 Ways to Die? I used to think that I'd watch that show and think, wow, that would be great if that happened to Ronald. That would have been really good if that happened. And Dwayne, ooh. Man, I could see that happening to him and stuff like that. And I'd be just imagining their faces on each one of those people that was dying in the show. Nah, we ain't having no revenge, nothing. You ain't touching me. That's the revenge that I'm getting. You're going to look at pictures that you have and you're going to wish that you hadn't acted stupid, and that's just all it is. Yeah, wasn't that show good? I used to love that shit. I would be amazed. I like stuff like that. And that show was a bomb, excuse you. Polly Mama. That show was the bomb, the best. You know what? Why is that one not on Netflix and reruns? Yes, honey, Ronald. We all had a Ronald. Don't front like you ain't never had one. And Dwayne. I had two dudes named Dwayne. Now, let's move on. Question number 22. This is from a male, 21 to 25, out of Brownsville, Texas. My girlfriend proposed to me a few weeks ago. Oh, did she now? We discussed marriage before. I told her eventually I'd like to get married to her, but I'm only 21 and I'm not ready yet. I mentioned that I didn't want to have the pressure of proposing to her. We didn't agree on a time frame for when she could propose to me, though. Her proposal to me was in private. The setting and mood were perfect, but I rejected it. I said I loved her very much, but I felt too young to get married. She said she still saw us having a future. I said, rather, I still saw us having a future together. I know all her friends are getting married as they are around 30 years old. Oh, so she's older than you. She's also the older one in our relationship. Okay. She already has a successful career and is looking to settle down, I assume, whereas I still need to graduate from college. Our relationship has been different lately ever since her proposal. She used to initiate eggplant with me every day. Now I find I have to, and she doesn't feel like doing it as much as we used to. Sometimes she'll prefer to have a solo party instead. I brought this up with her, and she knows it hurts my feelings. Sometimes I feel like she doesn't want me in bed with her. We don't have late night conversations anymore. I caught her crying late at night and have tried my best to comfort her. I voiced how upset I've been on the recent direction of our relationship. She is quiet and doesn't want to articulate her feelings to me. This is strange coming from her. We've always believed that communication is key in our relationship. We're not afraid to tell each other anything. I'm afraid that she doesn't love me anymore. I feel like we're just now roommates. I don't know what to do. She's my first girlfriend. I've never seen her like this. Is there anything I can do to fix our relationship to the way it was before? I'm almost certain this is all a result of her proposal, but I can't help but feel like there's another reason. Now, the other reason is she's mad because she feels that she wasted her time. She's concerned about, is she ever going to find anybody? Is she going to get married? Is she going to be able to have kids that she wants? Is she going to have to be too old to have kids? She has a lot on her mind right now, but the main mistake that she made is getting with somebody who's a college student and she's already damn near 30 and thinking that he's going to be a viable husband and support system. That was a gross error in judgment. Somebody as young as you is like a boy toy. Not to say that you might not, mature into something fabulous later, but to expect that from somebody who's still in school is ridiculous. Her expectations were way out of pocket, way out of pocket. And so, I know you said it's your first girlfriend. but it's not going to be your last. And what you need to do in the future until you're ready for that kind of commitment, because women already mature faster than men do. So, she's just light years ahead of you career wise. She's finished school, she's established, all the stuff. You guys are you not, as they do, my Christian folks say, equally yoked. Y'all ain't even close to being equal on anything. So it's time for this to end. That's what it is. So if you living together, you need to find a place to move and leave that woman to her back, to her house by herself. She needs to date an older guy who's more established and ready for what she's ready for, and you need to date somebody who's a student, like you, because you guys are two different stages of life here and totally out of sync. This made no sense at all. You should have known this was coming, dude. I mean, for real, you really didn't think that this was gonna happen? And but this is why women shouldn't propose to men. There's no rhyme or reason to it. When he's ready to be married, he'll propose to you. That's why little dude didn't propose, because he wasn't ready yet, and he's not gonna be ready for a while. So I don't know what she was doing trying to push the issue here. And you're right; it is the result of the proposal. That's all you're going to have to do is tell her that. You're going to have to say, I understand that you're upset because I don't want to marry you. I can't do that right now. It would be stupid. It would be ridiculous for both of us. I'm not mentally, financially, or what do you call it, emotionally ready for that kind of level of commitment yet. I told you that before, so I don't know why you're trying to pressure me by proposing. That was wrong on your part, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna be pressured into being married when before I'm ready to take that step. I plan to get married one time, and I don't want to be doing something that all half-assed. So what I'm gonna do, since this seems to be really a problem for you and to change the whole relationship, I'm gonna move out so that you can find somebody who's more in your age group and who's ready for what you're ready for. I'm not that. I'm not gonna be that dude for 5 or 6 more years. Okay, so it is what it is. And then you pack your shit and move out. Go see if you go stay with a buddy. Or go move in with your parents, back with your dad or something. Okay, question 23 out of 25. 21 to 25-year-old woman in London. A few weeks ago, my boyfriend of 7 months, I lived with him. See? 7 months and she already living with him. Told me that he was invited to go and spend a weekend at his female friend's big house in the countryside with 6 other girls. He said no to this offer as he thought it was a bit strange, and I agreed. Cut to 2 days ago. Deb, now he says that only 4 girls will be there and he wants to go now. But he said he doesn't want to go unless I go with him. So, of course, I agreed to go. Now I'm not allowed to come as his, quote, close friends only, but he still wants to go. I don't know why I'm so upset by this. I will be alone for the entire time. See, as none of my friends are here in the city, so I won't see anyone. I've only met these girls once. I'm a bit iffy about this whole situation, but I'm so upset that it threw me into a huge anxiety attack, which I don't think is normal. Could you give me any input? Am I being insane? Why do you guys doubt yourself so much? No, this is what you do. You tell your little raggedy ass boyfriend, you can go. You certainly can go. But I want you to think about something first. Now, say I was going for a weekend, just me, with 4 dudes in a big country house. How would you feel about that? Now, his answer is going to be very important. If he says he wouldn't mind, that's how you know he don't give a shit about you. You just live in booty, okay? Because when a man literally loves a woman, he don't want to share her with no other dudes. Are you kidding? Some of them even get iffy about family members. I mean, that's a bit much, but they control their mouths and feelings about it, but they still feel it. You know what I mean? But they definitely not gonna be having you in the house with 4 dudes romping around with shirts off and going to running up and down the hills and playing volleyball and all this and jumping in lakes in your swimming suit and all this sort of shit. Oh no, he's gonna think about all that. He'd be like, oh hell, fucking no, that ain't happening. So when he thinks that, now if he comes back and says, oh, I wouldn't like that at all, then you say, okay, well, then what's the difference between you thinking that, our relationship is so loose and easy that you can traipse off with 4 women for a whole weekend and leave me here by myself? Where do they do that at? Okay. You in London, but I mean, they don't do that there here. I know they don't do it there either. And so then you just sit there and look at them. This is not the time to fall apart. This is not the time to cry. This is not the time to argue with him or fight about it. You're going to listen to what he says and his weak ass excuses. And if he says anything other than you're right, I'm not going, then you say, okay, well, when you get back, you'll be single. So you may as well stay. And then you go move out. Go stay with a friend or something until you find your place. Because this shit here is over. And in the future, if you start dating somebody, stay your ass in your house. Don't be moving in with somebody you haven't even known for a year. It's fucking ridiculous. 7 months in and you already living with them. What's wrong with you? That's just desperate or some shit. No wonder he just want to get away from you. You all just be just doing the most. I'm like, oh my God. Well, somebody told me that too, but I noticed this about some of these people. And some of them will say that I've posted it on this site, this site, this site, and this site. My cousin tells me they'll post stuff in 3 or 4 places and get different, different responses from different people. So that I don't know. I don't care about that part. But the fact that it's sent to me, then we answer it. Question number 24: female, 37 to 45, out of Ohio. I'm so disappointed right now. I matched someone who knew all the right things to say. It was exciting to think I finally found a guy with potential. Unfortunately, his actions contradicted his words. Well, that's all you need to know. On Saturday, I refused to send him some naked pictures. On Sunday, this fool was trying to get me to do phone eggplant. On Monday, I asked him what he thought it means to be a best friend. His response was not an answer to my question. Instead, he asked me, have you ever done it with a woman? Wow. Today, you kept talking to him? Today, I told him it was disrespectful to think I had changed my mind in 24 hours. Today, I asked him 2 questions. Do you understand that you were disrespectful to me? And 2, can you accept that my emotions are my own to experience? Oh, you are doing too much. I asked him directly 3 times to address my concerns. In response, he lectured me about anger. It was a fucking PowerPoint presentation of text messages. Then he told me to think about it calmly. So I blocked him just for the sake of my own self-respect. What do you think about all this? I think you wasted, let me see. Okay, Sunday you wasted, Monday you wasted, Tuesday you wasted. And then you finally blocked him. Yeah, so you wasted 3 other days because by the time you talked to him on Saturday, after you matched him and he asked you to send him naked pics, you were supposed to block him then. Okay, he shouldn't have had a chance to ask you about doing phone eggplant or anything. All these questions you asked him, like you trying to be all serious. And what do you think about a best friend was? And he doesn't even respond to that. He asked you, have you ever done anything with a woman? Okay, why were you still talking to him? Do you not know what boundaries are and disrespect? Why were you still trying to have a conversation and asking him questions like you his mother or something? Do you understand what friendship means? Don't you understand that my emotions are mine? I mean, what? Who gives a shit about your emotions? Dude's trying to get his freak on. That's all he's doing. And you up there trying to be serious like somebody's English professor. You know what I mean? These women, I'm telling you. Ooh, these women. Ooh, Lord have mercy. Okay, last one of these crazy letters for today. Question 25. Female, 37 to 45, out of Canada. I'm just out of a long-term, more than 10-year relationship, so I'm out of the game on dating. I decided to try online dating, which I know you hate, but there really aren't many other options. My question to you is, what is the best way to say to somebody that you're not interested? I'm on a couple of dating sites and wondering the best way to say that I'm not interested when guys message me that are really not my speed. Is silence the best approach? It gets awkward when they keep texting. Help. I haven't tried dating in a decade and I truly don't know what to do. Well, you got to remember, online dating is not the real world. You don't owe nobody shit. If you don't want to be bothered with them, they're not your cup of speed. Don't these dating sites have a way to block people? So they can't keep texting you or whatever? I mean, I don't know. The specials and swipey things, I threatened last year that I was going to open up an account because I wanted just to experience, see what it was like, but I haven't done it yet. And so, I really don't know what I'm talking about. But does it seem like you could just block the person and not be bothered? Yeah, you could. Nick. Dang, Nick. Okay. Well, that's good that you was helped. That don't sound like a good situation. You just say you're not interested, but see, if you say you're not interested, then they keep texting anyway, because that's when they want to argue with you. and they want to tell you why you should be interested, and they're a nice guy, and they have all these attributes, and you should give them a chance. And why don't we at least just talk and this that? They start trying to coerce you and guilt trip you into some association that you don't really want to have. And so that's the best way to say not interested. They say you just say you're not interested. Okay, then you block them. Now, some of these things, I think if you block them, then they can't get your message, right? That you said you're not interested. I don't know. Like I said, I don't really know what I'm talking about. I'm just kind of throwing some stuff out there. But you who've actually been on the sites probably know more about it than I do. Um, were it me, and I would, the guy wrote me and stuff. I think on a lot of those sites, the people want to be on there and they don't want to, get like a bad reputation. Have people talking about them on the site or whatever, because most of them have forums and stuff, right? So you could just say, I just don't feel like this is, a good match, or I'm not feeling, that we would really have a connection, or it sounds like you're a nice guy, but not really what I'm looking for, something like that, which is basically saying I'm not interested. Now that's where it becomes interesting. So, a guy who would be normal would say, okay, well, good luck and whatever. And so, but if they come back with any kind of argument about it, then that's when you have a choice. You can say, look, what part of I'm not interested do you not understand? Or you could say, fuck you. Or you could say, are you stupid? You need sign language, a carrier pigeon, a smoke signal, what? I told you I don't want to be bothered. Okay, so, then you start like escalating. At least I would. But that's probably why I'm not on a dating site, because I know better. I'll be getting asked for $1,000, he'll leave. I don't know. Some of them, they might be like, sure, no problem. What's your cash app? See, then you be stuck. What you gonna do? If he send you $1,000 and then he expects something for his investment. See, nah, I wouldn't recommend that. Just be direct, and just tell him. Tell him politely first, and then if he want to act stupid, then you're gonna have to, as I say, escalate and get gully. And I don't have a problem with that. All right, so that was our crazy advice show for today. I actually made it through the whole show this time, which was really good. Oh yeah, my block game is strong. I think I have about 2,000 people blocked on Facebook. Probably about that many here on YouTube too, because they come on the channel acting stupid. I don't argue with them. I just block them. Hide user from channel. That's what it says on the admin panel. Hide user from channel. So I think they don't even get to see the channel anymore. And if they had a subscription, it cancels it immediately on the spot. But yeah, I don't want to be arguing with people. I'm like, I have to keep what little energy I have left for making my videos and writing. I'm trying to revive my blog on surviving dating. I'm working on it, so it looks kind of janky right now, but I'm working on it, and I'm going to be, putting up new content and getting that back in. I'm going to set up a video gallery so it'll show the YouTube videos over there too. So I have a lot of work to do on it, but I started, while I was sick because I didn't have shit else to do. And that was that. So I hope you guys enjoyed the show. If you have a question that you want to submit for What the Fuck Tuesday coming up, you have an advice question, you have a burning issue you don't understand about a coworker, your family members, yourself, then there's the form. Submission form is down below. You'll see a link in the show description. Just open it. It says read more, whatever. Click that and scroll down and just say submit your advice question. Click that link and just fill out the form. And you can submit your question and, for possible inclusion. Not every question submitted gets included, but we do our best to try to get most of them eventually. And also, I'm still looking for women who have dated men or been married to men who have locked up in prison. During the new interview series, if you have that's your situation, you don't mind being interviewed, you don't have to show your face, write to me at Debsterism, this name of this channel, Debsterism@gmail.com, and tell me a little bit about your story and provide contact information, and we'll be in touch to set that interview up. for the new series. All right. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Lady Boss. Everybody who made a super chat donation. I appreciate your support for the cussing and wine fund. As soon as I finish getting 100%, I'm going to be back to drinking my wine because you know these folks make me feel like I wish I had some wine tonight, but I don't dare because I'm still on medication. But you guys, it was great. We will talk very, very soon. Send in your advice questions for the next show. Look in the show description page down below. The show description down below, and click that link and send in your question. Lady Boss, you the bomb as usual. I'll talk to you all real soon. Bye bye.